Johnson. The steal of home plate, the first one I've ever seen here at Diethrick, and it capped off a 4-1 comeback and pulled out a 5-4 win. Their last game, though, they mercy ruled Geneva 11-0 in 7 innings.
Yeah, and they had a game that was postponed between then as well, if I'm not mistaken. They were supposed to play Monday night at Newark on the road. Of course, we had a lot of, I think it was rainy weather conditions that forced that game to be postponed, so we may see that game made up later on this year. But we've got a game today. We've also got a game tomorrow, but one game at a time. You know, we talked last week about the Tarp Skunks, how I think they were in 4th place at one point at the start of last weekend. But that's what win streaks will do for you. They've won 4 in a row now, and they find themselves just about a half a game back behind the first place Batavia Muck Dogs. I love this season. I love the fact that it's anybody's season to win. I mean, we've seen Niagara Power in first place, Elmira Pioneers have a winning record. They're 11-7 on the season. We've also seen, of course, the Tarp Skunks get involved in there. Who knows? Maybe they'll be in first place by tomorrow. And, of course, right now it's the Batavia Muck Dogs. But it really is a tight race between those 4 teams, Elmira, Niagara, Jamestown, and number 1 Batavia, all within about less than 50 percentage points between one another, you know? So it's going to be a great season, and it's anybody's season to win, and that's what we love about this league, as well as the teams that come in here. And I like the fact that we play them so frequently. We get almost as familiar with the visiting teams as we do with our own hometown Jamestown Tarp Skunks.
And speaking of that, though, Casey Gilman getting the starting call in the rubber for Jamestown, and in his last start here, he had the unconventional complete game because it was a doubleheader. He defeated Batavia in Game 1, 9-2.
Yeah, Gilman has got 3 games started. They do have him listed as 1 complete game. We'll go down more details about Gilman on the season in just a moment, but we're ready to get this game underway. Here comes the first pitch right here on WRFA.
Yeah, and it's Frank Vanzalato, the right fielder, getting it set up, and right off the bat takes a first pitch swing, and it goes foul down the third base line.
All right, so Gilman has pitched just 14 innings. He's allowed 12 hits, given up 4 runs, 3 of them earned, 5 walks, and 11 strikeouts.
And speaking of that, here comes Gilman's next pitch, and that one called outside for a ball.
The record is 1-1 on the season, and he has a 1.93 ERA.
Very solid numbers, especially for a starting pitcher, as the 1-1 pitch is going to go through the gap in the center for a base hit. So Vanzalato right off the bat with a single.
Yeah, not a good way to start the game if you're a Skunks fan, but, you know, we've seen teams start the game off with hot bats as well. The team usually settles in and does a super job settling in and trying to prevent anything from happening. So we've got the next batter up here. That is Nagishi, right?
Yep, Tatsunori Nagishi. He usually plays first base, but they got him tabbed as the designated hitter for this game, as Gilman's got a runner on first with nobody out. Pilots, they've been on a long drought from their last win. They're looking to correct the tide, but Jamestown's looking to keep their win streak going.
Nagishi, only 9 at-bats. He's batting .222 with 2 hits, including 1 double on the season. Hasn't seen a lot of plate action, this left-hander here for Newark.
So here's Gilman's next pitch. Vanzalato's running. Here's a throw to second, and he got him. He gets nailed at second. Cue Jane's addiction. Ben caught stealing.
Yeah, caught stealing. That's 1 out right there, and you can't blame Newark for trying to get a quick jump in this ball game and get a runner in scoring position with no outs. But if you can't make it to second base, it's not going to help your cause any. Obviously, Newark's coming out here guns a-blazing, so to speak, with only 2 wins on the season. They want to upset the Skunks tonight.
Well, I did see an update on the point streak. They've actually got 3 wins, so they just snapped their drought.
All right. Well, I must have been looking at I got 2-14 as the one that I printed up this morning, but they may have updated it since then.
Or that may have been the case, as the next pitch is called a strike on the 3-0 count, making it 3-1. Looking to at least get the full, and he does. Inside corner, strike 2.
So Casey Gilman here trying to get his first K of the night with a full count.
With that, here comes a payoff pitch on the way. Swing and a miss, strike 3.
He tipped it, and the catcher dropped it, so it wasn't a tip and a catch. It was tipped, and then it dropped and hit the ground. Oops. So the batter's staying alive here. Nagishi gets another crack at it with a 3-2 count with 1 out here in the top of the first inning.
I honestly did not see that tip at all, but that one's outside for a ball, so Nagishi will take the free pass, and it'll be Justin DiMartino, the left fielder.
Yeah, Justin DiMartino batting 330 at-bats. He's had 9 hits, including 4 doubles, 2 RBIs all in the season. He's been walked once. He's been struck out 9 times, batting right-handed. And we have another runner at first now with Negishi being walked. So 1 out here, runner at first, top of the first inning.
So here comes next pitch by Gilman, and right down the pipe, strike 1. And while we wait for the next pitch, the next batters 4 through 10 will be Jack Archimone, Frank DiMartino, Harris McReynolds, Tim Wagner, Tristan Head, Mike Flaherty, and Briggs Loveland. So that's the 10-batter lineup for Newark as the pickoff move is unsuccessful. Negishi slides back in safely.
Casey Gilman from Staten Island, New York, the Big Apple. He's a freshman over at Princeton University, but he plays here in Jamestown along with 3 other players who are also from Princeton. Can you believe that?
Oh, yeah. Negishi fakes a steal attempt as this one is a flyer over to right. And making the catch there without a hitch is the right fielder, and that was Gagnon for out number 2. So now it'll be Archimone, the catcher.
Looking at Jake Archimone, he's had 33 at-bats, 11 hits, has 1 triple on the season, 4 RBI, and has also been walked 4 times, struck out 5 times. He's got a runner at first here with 2 outs in the top of the first inning here in Jamestown, New York.
Gilman checking the runner at first. Next pitch on the way inside, ball 1.
Beautiful day at the ballpark. I want to let our listeners know if you're out there cruising around looking for something to do, it's free admission tonight. The Chautauqua County IDA is sponsoring free admission night here at Diethrick Park on this Thursday night. So, I mean, where else would you rather be in the summertime on a sunny day than the ballpark?
Next pitch is in the dirt, and it gets past Frahella, and advancing to second is Negishi. And, yeah, second buyout night of the season. I remember last year it was so popular with this ball team. There were 5 or 6 of those.
Well, they get sponsors that want to make sure that fans get to come out of all walks of life to see the ball game. So these buyouts are a great incentive to do just that. And the weather cooperating doesn't hurt either.
As that one is hit over to left, Munoz under it, and he'll make the catch for the final out of the top of the first. So Newark doesn't get a run, and the Skunks will be coming up to bat.
All right, Norma, let's thank one of our sponsors for our broadcast. We're in the middle of the first inning. Support for WRFA's coverage of Jamestown Tarp Skunk Baseball is brought to you in part by the County of Chautauqua Industrial Development Agency. The Chautauqua County IDA is an economic development organization authorized and empowered by New York State to make Chautauqua County a better place to live, work, and visit. The IDA facilitates development by attracting new businesses. It also promotes the retention and expansion of existing businesses. And it offers businesses assistance in the forms of tax abatements, low-interest loans, and bond financing, all of which enhance the opportunities for job creation and retention across Chautauqua County. The Chautauqua County IDA, a proud supporter of Jamestown Tarp Skunk Baseball on WRFA. For more information, you can call 716-661-8900 or simply go online to ccida.com. Back to you, Norm.
Jason, as always, thank you very much. As it's going to be Chris Lowe warming up here for Newark. He's the starting pitcher for the Pilots, but he's going to have a few tall orders in this 10-batter lineup.
Oh, go ahead. Do the lineup. I'll give you Lowe's stats a little bit later on.
All right, Grady Mee's going to lead off the shortstop. He has more than 10 steals in the year. Last I saw, he had 12, so he leads the team. Then it'll be Paul Catalano at center, Tommy Guggens, the second baseman, Kernodle at third batting cleanup. Then 5 through 10 will be Gagnon, Munoz, Frahella, Wallace, Monroe, and Garth. And once again, Jamestown's starting pitcher is Gilman.
Well, for Lowe, this could be misleading. He has 4 complete games, but I think some of them could have been mercy rule games where they kept him in and the team had lost because he's given up 22.1 innings pitched here. Well, actually, yeah, I think I've got the stats a little bonkers here, so I might have to reconfigure them, although they all line up pretty much okay. But, yeah, we've got 28 hits given up. I'll give you the stats in a moment, Norm. I've got to reconfigure things a little bit here.
All right, as Grady Mee comes up the bat, Mee's one of the ones with one of the dangerous bats. At one point in the season, he was batting Tony Gwynn-esque in the 400 column. I'm not too sure if he's still there, but he's still in the high 300s for certain. So he's had a very strong season, not just with his bat, but with his cleats as well, playing the thievery, pilfering the bases, as the first pitch he sees is low for ball 1.
Yeah, Me is doing great this season. Batting .370, leads the team in at-bats with 54. He's had 20 hits so far, including 6 doubles and a triple.
And this one popped up. Second baseman under it, and making the catch for the first out there is Loveland. So a very quick out, number 1.
Yeah, couldn't even give it his whole stat line done before he got out there, taking a swing at the first pitch that he saw. But I was going to say that, Me usually gets on base quite a bit. He's third in the team in on-base percentage with a .435 on-base average.
I like that that's updated on there now because it's always something good to add to the repertoires. The next pitch, pogo sticks in the dirt for a ball. Again, it's Paul Catalano up to bat. He's been seeing a lot more reps and starts as of late, and he's done very well. As the next pitch by Lowe is on the way, and it's outside, ball 2.
And I did have a correction. Yeah, my stat lines were off, so I was totally wrong when I said that he had 4 complete games. It was actually just 4 starts and 0 complete games. My apologies there for the pitcher here from Newark, Lowe.
So Catalano heading the count 2-0. Here comes the next pitch. He'll swing and line right over to the first baseman there in Wagner. Heads up, makes the catch, and the 2 very quick outs, and so far Jamestown's first 2 batters settling for the first pitch or 2.
Yeah, sometimes you want to see what they're going to give, but Jamestown, like I said, is on a win streak. They got some hot bats going. They had a 11-run mercy rule game the other night. So I think they're chomping at the bit to get on base and make some action happen, and you can't blame them for being aggressive in the early stages of the game. If you like what you see, why not take a swing?
As Guggens swings and misses for strike 1.
Just like that. Guggens, by the way, is batting .281 with 32 at-bats. He's had 9 hits, including 2 doubles, 11 RBI. That's going to go over the second baseman's head for a base hit. And Guggens improves his average. He's approaching 300 now with that hit. And we've got another batter, the cleanup hitter, number 15, third baseman, Jake Kernodle.
Honestly, had Loveland been as tall as Cooper Monroe, he probably could have made that catch. But it's a bloop single there for Guggens. You'll take a base hit any way you can. And he's got a good set of wheels himself. He is known to steal a base from time to time. But here's a pickoff, and he'll slide back in safely.
Newark has scouted Jamestown well. They know that the Skunks love to steal, as we saw their last home game with a walk-off victory via stealing home. I'll never get tired of seeing that or hearing your call, Norm.
It's got to go on Sports Center Top 10. It needs to be. It's eligible. But Kernodle looking to extend the inning. Guggens, he's got a good lead off at first. And here comes Lowe's next pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 1 evens the count.
You mentioned that call you did on Sunday that might go to Sports Center Top 10. I understand the Skunks did submit that to Sports Center, and every week they take the top 10 plays of the week, non-professional sports. So who knows? Maybe on Saturday morning we'll wake up and see it on there, Norm.
Yeah, a few years ago, CSP, the high school football team, they got to play in the top 10. That actually was kind of surprising, but the last pitch was fouled off, making the count 1-2.
CSP Climber, Sherman, Panama?
Yep, the Wolfpack. It was actually during a playoff game when it was Newark Field at the time.
That's a team from right here in Chautauqua County. We have 18 school districts in the county. Hard to keep track.
1-2 pitch. It's going to go over to third, fielded. Throw over to first, and gets it by a step. So that's going to be 3 outs for Jamestown, and we got scores tie after 1 inning. Second inning coming up momentarily right here on WRFA.
We'll have more live Jamestown Tarp Skunk baseball in just a moment, but right now it's time to meet one of the Tarp Skunks right here on WRFA.
My name is Henry Juwan, and I'm a catcher. I'm from Big Flats, New York, and I play for Williams College. I'm a double major in econ and statistics. I'm sure of what exactly I want to do with that, but probably something in the financial field. My favorite player is Anthony Rizzo, and my favorite team is the New York Yankees.
Do you or did you play any other sports?
Yes, I did. I played basketball and football in high school, and I also played football my freshman year of college. But yeah, currently just a baseball player.
What do you like to do when not playing baseball?
I like hanging out with my dog. I like fishing, golfing. Yeah, pretty much about it.
What's your favorite baseball memory?
Favorite baseball memory would probably be winning a regional championship in high school, going to the state Final Four. That was pretty cool. But Also, I did hit a home run in my first college game. That's up there too as well.
What do you like best about playing for the Jamestown Tarp Skunks?
You know, it's just really high-level baseball, and it's a really cool atmosphere. And, you know, I've had a good time with it so far. So, looking forward to more good nights.
Sounds good. Anything else to add?
Go Skunks.
You're listening to Jamestown Tarp Skunk Baseball right here on WRSALP 107.9 FM in Jamestown.
Top of the second about to start here as the 5 through 7 batters are due up. DiMartino, McReynolds, and Wagner. And it's Frank DiMartino, the center fielder, that is coming up to bat as the next pitch by Gilman to start inning number 2 is upstairs and outside for ball 1.
Yeah, DiMartino's likely brothers. Frank is batting .214 with 42 at-bats. He's had 9 hits, including a double and a triple, and that one goes foul. So that makes it 1-1. 3 RBI, 2 walks, 10 strikeouts, and 8 stolen bases. So he's got some wheels if he can get on there. Not the team leader in stolen bases, but he has been known to take a bag or two if he gets on the base paths.
Next one swung on a miss for a strike 2. And actually, the team leader I see, he's the one that got caught, Vanzalata. He's got 10.
If you don't keep track of caught stealing on the stat sheet here, it'd be interesting to see how frequently he tries to steal compared to how often he actually is successful.
And speaking of that, caught looking is DiMartino. So Gilman's first strikeout of the game, Gilly. As now it will be Harris McReynolds, the extra hitter.
He's got a good average.
As the first pitch to him is high for a ball.
Batting .308 on the season, 26 at-bats. He has 8 hits, 2 doubles, 6 RBI, 4 walks, 7 strikeouts.
So 1-0 count. Next pitch by Gilman is outside for ball 2. So 2-0 count here in favor of McReynolds. Next pitch on the way. Outside again, ball 3.
Gilman just has to throw it right down the middle at this point. I can't imagine that McReynolds is going to be swinging the bat at all with a 3-0 count. Just get that strike and move on to the next pitch.
And that one's upstairs. It's a 4-pitch walk for Harris McReynolds.
Yeah, so yet again another runner advancing onto first base with just 1 out, and now Tim Wagner shows up, the first baseman, number 19. Looking to get something going here in the top of the second inning at Diethrick Park, home of the Jamestown Tarp Skunks.
Yeah, so far both teams with just 1 hit, but no runs on the board. Gilman checking McReynolds at first. Here's the next pitch. Outside corner, strike 1.
Looking for Wagner's stats here. We've got a .250 hitter, 32 plate appearances with 8 hits. He's also been struck out 7 times.
0-1 delivery by Gilman. That one's going to go into left field, and nearly making the catch. There's Munoz, but it's going to go to the wall, and McReynolds is going to get waved home, and he's going to be there safely. An RBI double. That one goes to the backstop. Runner's going to head over to third, and getting there safely is Wagner. So it's a stand-up double that he takes advantage of that wild throw by Jamestown and advances a further 90 feet to get even closer to scoring position. And the Pilots, they fly into the air and draw first blood here, 1-0.
Yeah, McReynolds cruise around the base paths there. Really give Jamestown's outfielder there, an effort for trying to make the dive Munoz, but he just couldn't get there in time. And with nobody really backing him up there, it was almost a gapper hit. I give him credit for getting to it, but he couldn't quite make the catch, and that's how Newark was able to capitalize. There's one right up the middle. That'll score another run.
That was a smart decision there also by Head, because he saw the infield was creeping in, anticipating a bunt. He didn't even bother setting it up. He took a swing, and it went into that open pocket in center field.
Yeah, so now it's quickly 2-0 here. The upstart Newark Pilots leading the Tarp Skunks, but we got plenty of baseball to play, of course, only in the top of the second inning with just 1 out. But a runner at first, with another base hit. And that's 3 hits so far for the Pilots.
Yeah, Flaherty will look to keep it going. Back-to-back batters have had base hits for the Pilots, but the first pitch was in the dirt, but Frahella with a nice catch there to avoid it going to the backstop.
Flaherty, a 278 hitter, 10 hits on the season, 2 RBI, a walk, and 8 strikeouts. He's looking to try to at least advance his runner. Who knows if Head wants to, he might try to steal second as well.
Next pitch, outside corner, strike one, evens the count. So count even here at 1-1. Pilots with 2 runs here in the top of the second inning. And here's Gilman's next pitch. That one in the dirt, but again, Frahella with a nice block, making the count 2-1.
Yeah, like I said, the weather's great here, and there's not a lot of wind either. I mean, you look at the flags in the outfield, Norm, there's not a breeze blowing in or out. If anything, it's blowing out. There's a quick try to pick off over at first base. Nothing doing there. We'll get back to the action here. But, yeah, not a cloud in the sky. Thankfully, not a lot of that smoky smogginess that we've seen as well. The air quality is actually really good today.
Next pitch, that one is going into center. Catalano surveys and makes the catch for the second out. So now it will be Briggs Loveland, the second baseman.
Now entering the batter's box for the Newark Pilots.
Yeah, Briggs Loveland. He is only got 2 hits on the season through 22 at-bats, so he's just under 100, and he's struck out 7 times. Batting left-handed here, trying to keep this magical inning going with 2 runs already scored. They've got 2 outs and a runner at first.
Gilman's next pitch upstairs for ball 1, and he was in a similar situation to what Fairbrother was in the last game that Jamestown had at home against Newark. Fairbrother came in 1 for 19 on the season. He went 3 for 4 in that game, so who knows, maybe Loveland is another guy that is due as the runner goes, and it goes foul for a strike, making it count 1-1.
Just off of the grandstand up here in the press box area. Usually where I stand to watch the games if you have another broadcast partner helping you out, whether it be Colin Wood or the one Max Pinjator. And I like to hang out over there, so I would have got a souvenir had I been over there, but maybe next time.
There's plenty more home games. Count 1-1 with 2 outs. Next pitch by Gilman. That's ruled low, ball 2. So 2-1 count, 2 outs. And it is Head, the runner on first. He'll get ahead here with a lead, but here's a pickoff, and he slides back in safely.
Yeah, Gilman just trying to keep him honest and, not let him get an opportunity to steal second. Remember, if it's an infield grounder, you can get a force out at either bag, so you really don't want to take that opportunity away to get this final out here. Here comes the shove outside for a ball. That'll make the count 3-1.
Yeah, if Loveland gets walked, we'd be back to the top of the order with Vanzalato, who singled in his first appearance. Here's the 3-1, swung on a miss, count goes full. So we got full count here with 2 outs, Head the runner on first. Gilman looking to keep the damage to the minimum that it is. Gets a sign from Frahella. Here's a payoff, runner goes, and that's low, ball 4. So that's going to be the second walk issued of the inning for Gilman, his third one in 1 2/3, and we'll be back to the top of the order with Vanzalata.
Yeah, Tristan Head at second now. Loveland at first, and back up to the top of the order, Vanzaletta, who got a base hit to start the game, but he was caught stealing to make the first out for the Newark Pilots in the first inning. Here we are in the second inning, and we're already back to the top of the order here. Gilman trying to settle down a little bit here and get this final out and move on.
Next pitch, and that gets by Frahella, and it goes to around the backstop, and the runners will advance 90 feet. So now it'll be Head at third, and also Loveland at second. So a good base hit can drive home both of them possibly.
Well, we've already seen Vanzalata get a base hit already, the left-handed hitter from Newark Pilots back in the first inning, as we noted. And he's chomping at the bit now You got to think that any type of a hit that he gets is going to drive in both runs because the runners will be going with 2 outs here no matter what happens with the ball.
So 1-0 count after that pitch that got by Frahella. Vanzalata looking for his second hit of the game in 2 at-bats. And maybe add an RBI or 2 to his stat line. Here's Gilman's next pitch. That one is hitting the inside corner for strike 1.
Yeah, the body language of the batter would have led you to believe that it was a little too far inside to be called a strike, but the umpire had a different idea and opinion of that pitch. Making the count 1-1 here.
And Gilman's next pitch, that one is going to be foul, but the catch is made by Kernodle for the 3rd out. Even though they left 2 runners on base, the Pilots do get 2 runs on the board, so they are ahead 2-0 after 1.5.
All right, Norm, let's thank another one of our sponsors, shall we? Support for WRFA's coverage of Jamestown Tarp Skunk baseball is brought to you in part by Chautauqua Institution. Chautauqua Institution, a community on the shores of Chautauqua Lake that comes alive each summer with a unique mix of fine and performing arts, including theater and musical entertainment, along with lectures, interfaith worship, and programs and recreational activities. The 2023 season features many known names, including Natalie Merchant, Diana Ross, Patti LaBelle, The Revivalists, Band of Horses, Straight No Chaser, Trombone Shorty, Mavis Staples, and many more. They also had Snarky Puppy this week. Chautauqua Institution. For more information, call 1-800-836-ARTS. That's 1-800-836-2787 or visit discoverchq.org. Back to you, Norm.
Thank you, Jason, as we're about to start the bottom of the second here with the Skunks behind 2-0. And Gagnon, Munoz, and Frahella are due up to bat.
Speaking of Chautauqua Institution, we have an employee of Chautauqua Institution. Maybe he's an intern. Will Stallsmith, our intern for WRFA, also spends the summer there. We'll be introducing our listeners to Will here a little bit later on in the broadcast, probably in the middle of the 4th inning. Will's getting his first taste of broadcast action here for the 2023 season. A St. Bonaventure University student originally from Mayville, New York. We'll talk more with Will here in later on in the broadcast, probably in the middle of the 4th inning. So stick around for that. We're always happy to have some interns helping us out with our broadcast, and like to introduce them to our listening audience or the viewers on YouTube.
Yeah, sometimes you got to be thrown into the fire as an intern. I went through that myself. It seems like yesterday, but as Gagnon swings and misses on the first pitch he sees for strike 1.
Gagnon had a really good game on Sunday, really helped keep the Skunks in it and allowed them to come back and eventually win that game in dramatic fashion. He's batting .217 on the season with 5 hits.
Next pitch is low for a ball, making it 1-1. Yeah, in that game he had not only 2 singles, he also drove in 2 RBIs, and he scored 2 runs.
Yeah, that was probably his best game of the season so far, but there's still plenty more baseball to play.
As this was a chopper over, mishandled there by Short. It looked like it was a miscommunication there between Head and Flaherty. I think if one of them would have just backed off and the other said, I got it, it's very likely they could have gotten the out, but it's going to be an infield single for Gagnon.
Yeah, Kieran Gagnon, great job there, getting on base with no outs. That could spell trouble for the Newark Pilots if Gagnon can advance to second base here with a steal to get in scoring position. Meanwhile, Jared Munoz, the team leader in on-base percentage at the plate.
First pitch, he takes outside corner for a strike, and he, like Gagnon, he had 2 RBIs in their comeback win over the Power on Sunday.
Munoz batting .350 on the season, 20 at-bats, 7 hits, and as I noted, he gets on base half the time he appears at the plate, .500 on-base percentage.
Next one is going to be a popper. It's in foul, it's going to look like it was going to land fair territory, but what a catch there.
That's great.
Oh, that was a diving Superman-esque catch, and that was by Loveland. So
all the way over from the second base position, right?
Yeah.
Loveland, yeah. He wandered all the way over there and just dove, and really he was the only one that could make a play on it. Out of position was the right fielder, couldn't really get it on time, and first baseman backpedaling in an awkward position. What a nice catch. Got to give credit where credit is due.
Yeah, you might as well dip his glove in gold. That was a great catch. As it is Frahella up the bat, and he fouls off the first pitch for a strike, and this is something so far that's kind of been affecting Jamestown in the early parts of this game. They're settling for the first and second pitch. Sometimes there's nothing wrong with letting one or two go and then get the one you really like and take a crack.
Right. Well, Ferrella's batting 125 on the season. There's the pitch. Runner's going. It's oh, they got the tag on him and got him.
Yep, they got him. Second out as
Gagnon is tagged out, trying to steal second. That'll be out number 2.
Yep.
And now we have bases empty with 2 outs. And Ferrella just trying to get on base to get something going here in the second inning to respond to the 2 runs that were scored by Newark at the top of this inning.
Well, here's the 0-2, and that one's going into center. And DiMartino will get with the catch easily, and a quick, unconventional 1-2-3 inning for Jamestown, and they're still behind 2-0. Third inning coming up in a few moments after this on WRFA.
We'll have more live Jamestown Tarp Skunk baseball in just a moment, but right now it's time to meet one of the Tarp Skunks right here on WRFA.
Can I get the tape real quick, please?
My name is Alex Revilla, and I play catcher. I'm from Miami, Florida. I play for Norwich Southeastern University. I'm an accounting major, and my dreams to go into the big leagues. If not, open up my own firm for accounting.
What's your favorite professional baseball team, and who's your favorite baseball player?
Got to go for my home team, Miami Marlins, and JT Ramuthi is a great catcher and a great hitter.
Did you or do you currently play any other sport?
No, sir, I just play baseball.
What do you like to do when you're not playing baseball?
Reading the Bible and fishing.
What's your favorite baseball memory?
Every day, being able to come out and enjoy the game and play with the guys, and it's an awesome experience every day.
What do you like best about playing for the Jamestown Tarp Skunks?
All the fans, the crowd, the kids. You feel like a celebrity here. It's awesome. It's a great experience.
Right on. Anything else to add?
Let's go Tarp Skunks.
Voice of the Jamestown Tarp Skunks on WRFA-LP. Tune in for live play-by-play action for each home game right here on your community radio station. For a complete broadcast schedule, visit WRFALP.com/TarpSkunks. See you at the ballpark.
And we're about to start the top of the third inning here with the Pilots ahead 2-0 over the Skunks, as the batters due up will be Nagishi, DiMartino, and Arcamone.
And Nagishi walked his first plate appearance in the first inning, stranded at second base.
So here's Gilman's next pitch, and that one down the pipe, strike 1. Gilman looking for a better inning than the last one where 2 batters were walked and 2 runs scored. Next pitch on the way. That one's outside for a ball, making it 1-1. And do also see now that the Skunks have an error in their column. I wonder if it was from that throw that advanced Wagner from second to third.
Yeah, that's exactly what it was there.
Well, this one is in playable territory. Me under it, and look what I got. It was me, Grady Me, with the catch for a quick out number 1.
Yeah, way to hustle over there into the foul territory and still make the grab all the way from the shortstop position. Jeter-esque, as one would say. You catch that Yankees game last night, Norm.
I can't believe Herman threw a perfect game. He's not that great of a pitcher, but hey, sometimes even a blind squirrel finds a nut.
Hey, any given day, something special can happen in baseball. That's why we love it.
That one's foul for a strike, making the count 0-1. Yeah, that really surprised me because throughout his career, like, he had one great year, and then after that, he's just been slowly declining down the tubes. Same with Severino.
Well, he had a perfect night last night.
Swing and a miss, strike 2 there by...
Only 23 other pitchers can say that.
Yeah, even another Yankee, David Wells.
And David Cohn.
I thought he did that as a... Or no, that was as a Yankee. I was thinking Mets, but... That one going into left field for a base hit, and for DiMartino, his first hit of the game, the 4th for the Pilots as a team.
And, of course, the most famous perfect game by the Yankees.
Don Larson.
Yes. That was during the World Series, wasn't it?
Yeah, I believe it was 53. It was in the 50s.
Before my time. Anyway, we've got a runner at first now with 1 out.
And Jack Arcamone, who flew to left in his first at-bat. That pitch, a little bit of the chest music there, but he's able to avoid getting hit. Ball 1.
So we're seeing some success at the plate by these batters for Newark. That was counted as a hit, right?
Yes, it was.
I'm just looking at the scoreboard. I don't think they've put it up there yet.
Yeah, they had it put up, then it got taken off. But next pitch was called a strike for a 1-1 count. And, yeah, sometimes that board, when we see it, it's so loony, you might as well put it on a Bugs Bunny cartoon. It can get crazy. But even count here, 1-1 with just one out. Next pitch by Gilman is upstairs, making the count 2-1.
Gilman, the last time he started a game was that 7-inning doubleheader here in Jamestown. He might have pitched since then.
That one fouled going over the press box, making it 2-2.
And he looked really sharp in that game. And I don't know if he quite has that, that same level of energy this time around. And it's kind of indicative by the runs that have been given up and the number of batters that have reached base.
Well, next pitch upstairs, making the count go full. I'm sure Gilman wouldn't mind a grounder to get a double play and get out of the inning. Here's a pickoff, and that one kind of surprised DiMartino, but he was able to get back to the bag. So full count here with one out.
Arcamone, by the way, flew out to left field his first time at the plate, and that's going to go to right field.
It was possible that Monroe was going to try to go for the catch. Maybe it was too much of a hot shot, or he also didn't want to get bumped into with the runner at first. But base hit.
Yeah, another base hit. 2 runners on now. And Newark trying to add to their 2-run lead. If you're just joining us on the airwaves here in Jamestown at 107.9 FM, it is 2-0 in the top of the 3rd inning with just 1 out. The visiting Newark Pilots at bat and leading the Jamestown Tarp Skunks. But plenty of baseball to be played.
All right, so back-to-back base hits by Newark. Here comes a bunt, but he's able to pull it back as the pitch was outside for a ball. It's Frank DiMartino. So far, he's Gilman's only strikeout of the game.
Well, Gilman's going to try to get him again here. And it might not be possible if he lays down that bunt and just gets a sacrifice to advance the runners.
And that one hits the outside corner anyway, so strike one evens the count. Personally, I wouldn't mind seeing where it looks like they are showing they're going to bunt, and they pull the bat back and take a swing into the outfield. Monroe, though, on the grass area. Here comes a bunt. It goes over to Monroe, and he'll tag out the runner. Even if he would have avoided it, DiMartino would have been outside the baseline anyway. So 2 outs. Both runners advance to scoring position. Now it will be McReynolds, who walked and scored a run back in the second.
Well, DiMartino did his job, advanced the runners, but we now have 2 outs on the board, and Jamestown can get out of this jam without allowing any damage if we can get Harris McReynolds out. He walked back in the 2nd inning and scored the first run of the ball game.
So McReynolds fouls that one off for a strike, and I'm sure he's aching to double Newark's lead. Two runs on 5 hits so far for the Pilots, and they're looking for another one to drive in a couple runs. That one fouled down the first base side.
We'll do it again here, but quickly up in the count now is Gilman trying to get his 2nd strikeout, but any out will do at this point with runners in scoring position at 2nd and 3rd for Newark, and they've got a 2-run lead.
So Gilman's got the sign he wants from Ferhella. 0-2 underway, and that's going to be grounded over to Googans, and he will get it to Monroe in time. So a scoreless inning for Gilman. Gilly. Score remains 2-0. So Jamestown will look to get a rally and at least tie this thing back up.
All right, let's thank another one of our sponsors, Norm. Support for WRFA's coverage of Jamestown Tarp Skunk Baseball is brought to you in part by Schultz Auto Group. Schultz Auto Group, celebrating over 50 years serving automotive needs of the greater Jamestown community with an excellent customer buying and ownership experience. All repair facilities have experienced and factory-trained technicians with state-of-the-art equipment for all automotive needs, no matter what engine type, gas, diesel, or electric. Schultz Auto Group, proud supporter of Tarp Skunk Baseball on WRFA. For more information, you can call 1-866-931-2998 or visit SchultzAuto.com. Norm?
Jason, as always, thank you very much. As score 2-0 still in favor of Newark, and the batters due up are going to be Wallace, Monroe, and Garth.
Well, Jamestown, they got a late start last Sunday, the last time they were here at Diethrick Park, and it paid off for them, coming back from 3 runs down pretty much in the second half of the ball game, and then winning in dramatic fashion in the bottom of the 9th inning with a walk-off stolen home plate. And you don't really get much more exciting than that, but who knows? That could happen here in this one as well. Well, we'll see what happens with plenty more baseball to be played. We're only in the bottom of the 3rd inning. It's a 2-0 lead if you're just joining us. Newark Pilots visiting here. Only 3 wins on the season, but they've got the best of Jamestown so far through the first 2.5 innings.
And that goes to show no matter what your record is compared to a team, whether you're a great one taking on one that's in the cellar, you got to take every game seriously. And so far, with Newark up 2-0, they're showing that they mean business. So Wallace will look to get some going here for Jamestown. He is the extra hitter. He's been starting to see a lot more appearances on the dish as of late as well for Jamestown.
Yeah, Wallace has had 14 plate appearances so far, just 1 hit, but he could quickly improve that batting average with getting a hit or 2 here in this ball game.
So
one RBI, he's been struck out 6 times.
Yeah, and the first pitch was low for ball 1. Next one fouled off, evens the count.
Nice cut.
And Wallace's first hit of the year actually was in that Niagara game. It actually drove in a run on a single. So he made it count. So 1-1 count here with nobody out. Wallace looking to get on base to start off the bottom of the 3rd. And he swings and misses, making the count 1-2.
Chris Lowe's looking pretty sharp so far for the visiting Newark Pilots on the mound. No strikeouts, but he's really giving the Skunks problems in terms of making clean contact on the ball. I don't know if it's his breaking ball or what that's working for him.
And with that, there's his first strikeout of the game.
And I
and
spoke too soon, right?
Well, it's the reverse end of a broadcaster jinx.
I guess so. Cooper Monroe now coming up here. He's batting 160 with 4 hits, 25 plate appearances. He's got 3 walks, and he's got 10 strikeouts on the season. Trying to get something going here in the bottom of the 3rd.
Yeah, Monroe, he's one of those skunk players that is – I wonder if that pitch is going to count because the ump was saying to kill the music. So it looks like it'll be a do-over. But, yeah, Monroe, he's one of those skunks that's not scared to wave the bat if he sees a pitch that he likes.
Yeah, the umpire just showed no count. So here's the first pitch of this at-bat.
And he'll swing and miss for strike 1, trying to show the Aaron Judge there. But with that hack, I'd say more like Gorman Thomas.
Bob Uecker.
Well, Uecker wasn't really a home run hitter.
Yeah, wasn't much of a hitter.
He looked at 200 as he swung and missed for strike 2.
Not that we're comparing, of course.
Not at all.
Cooper Monroe to
it's
the
just
one
for some
Bob
laughs.
Uecker.
Here's the 0-2, and that one's going to go over into left center for a base hit, so Monroe does get a single after being behind 0-2.
Yeah, a little bit of levity up here. Cooper Monroe may have relaxed a little bit hearing us cracking jokes at Bob Uecker's expense, and he got on base here with just 1 out. We're at the bottom of the order now with Drew Garth stepping up, number 23, the designated hitter.
Or wait a minute.
Oh, it's number 2, not Drew Garth.
Okay, yeah, I saw Garth on the board.
Yeah, I think they may have made a last-minute change because I saw Garth on the board as well.
That's the second time that's happened where it's been all flip-flop. It's like, at the same token, you got to be sure who you want because we want it to sound good for the team, but it looked like from what I saw.
Bendick.
Oh.
No. Well, they have Bendick on here. So.
Oh, one of them, or maybe I misread the last part, but I don't know.
It was Garth when
it was Garth when we saw it.
Yeah.
So it might have been a last-minute decision, but the count is 0-2.
And he's DHing here. He hasn't been out in the field at all playing, so we really haven't a chance to see him. But, yeah, it is Bendick who is out there at the plate with 1 out away and a runner at first for Jamestown here in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Here comes the delivery.
So 0-2 pitch and caught looking, strike 3. And again, it's that golden rule. If it's in the zone, it's okay to strike out, but at least take a swing or two. Don't go down looking.
Well, you know, like I said, I think Lowe's breaking ball's going good, and sometimes it don't look like it's going to be a strike, Norm. I mean, you really don't want to. If the pitcher's got good stuff, you're not really going to swing at it. You know what I mean?
Well,
if it looks like it's coming
I understand
outside.
That. I understand that, but you also want to go down with the fight at the same time.
Well, I'm not going to swing at a ball that's well outside. Like I said, if it's breaking, there's not much you can do about it.
Well, we're back to the top of the order anyway with Grady Mee as the next pitch is inside for a ball. He popped out the second in his first appearance, so he'll look to get on base. And he and Bendeck get on base. We might see a small rally here, but we'll just have to wait and see. 2 outs, 1-0 count as he swings, and it goes foul down the first base side for a strike.
Grady Mee, the leadoff hitter, is doing really well this season. He might be the mid-season MVP for the Tarp Skunks. I know Johnson can give him a run for his money. Might be another player or two up there as well, but really impressed with Mee this season.
And Monroe's going to steal it. He's going to be safe. First baseman not really known to steal much, but Monroe goes, hold my cleats, I'm going to take off.
Yeah, Monroe, I think he took about 10 strides to get from first to second as well. You know, he stands, what, 6'6", 6'7".
I think that's his first steal of the year, but I could be wrong. I know he tried one other time at Diethrick, and he got caught.
He's got 1 stolen base.
So that gives him 2. Makes it 1 better. Count 2-1, though. Next pitch on the way, and that's low, ball 3. Catalano is on deck should Mee get walked or get on base. It is the hitter's count here, 3-1. It's the green light situation, and that one's inside, ball 4. So Mee does get the walk, and it'll be Catalano, the center fielder.
Yeah, a little 2-out lightning here with 2 runners on board now. One of them in scoring position with Cooper Monroe on second and Grady Mee on first. And Paul Catalano now stepping up, the center fielder. He lined out to first base the first time he was at the plate back in the first inning. He has a chance of driving a run or two here, the left-handed hitter for the Skunks.
Here's the next pitch, and that's outside, ball 1. Yeah, I'm sure Monroe's got enough speed to get from second to home, and we definitely know Mee's got it to go from first to home. But count here 1-0 in favor of Catalano. Here's the next pitch by Lowe, and that one swung on. It's going to go into right center field, and it's going to be Vanzalata making the catch for the third and final out of the inning. And score means 2-0 Newark ahead. Jamestown unable to take advantage of 2 runners on. We'll have the 4th inning coming up momentarily right here on WRFA.
Oh, I did also. What are you listening to?
WRFA.
On your phone?
Yeah, they got a really cool app.
I didn't know that. You mean you can listen to Small Things Considered?
Yeah,
Democracy Now?
for sure.
The Local Rush Hour?
Absolutely.
Arts on Fire?
Yeah. You can listen to all of them and even stream old episodes of 3rd Street Garage or Community Matters from the archives. It's simple. Just go to the App Store or wherever you get your apps and type in WRFA. And here's the kicker. It's completely free.
That's amazing. I'm definitely going to download. Does it have the local news?
It has everything the radio has and more. Now leave me alone. I'm listening.
Before we open number 3, you sure you want number 3? You want to open number 2?
You're listening to Jamestown Tarp Skunks Baseball, right here on WRSALP 107.9 FM in Jamestown.
And we're about to start the top of the 4th inning here with the score still 2-0 in favor of the Pilots. And it'll be Wagner, Head, and Flaherty that are due up to bat. And this is the lineup. That's the part of it where Gilman had some trouble in the 2nd inning because Wagner had an RBI double and Head had an RBI single.
Yeah, these 2 batters kind of had Gilman's number back in the 2nd inning. We'll see if Gilman settles down and doesn't give him too many chances. But Wagner, the first baseman, really is the person who got things going. He not only got an RBI, he also scored that 2nd run making the score 2-0. Where we sit right now here in the top of the 4th inning.
Next pitch, that's right down the pipe, strike one. Yeah, besides that, though, Gilman, besides the second inning so far, he has looked like his usual self for the most part, as that one is popped up. It's going to be a 4-man campfire for it, and making the catch all the way at center is Catalano for the first out, so Casey didn't lose the number that time. Out number one. And now Tristan Head, who, again, has an RBI single, looked to get on base for a second time. Gilman's next pitch, and that one is going foul. Looks like it's going to go to the Pilot bullpen, and it will. E forever there by Gagnon, but you don't want to be a stunt double and mess your chest up trying to go over the gate.
No, if it was just another foot or two to the left, closer to the field of play, I think he would have been able to come down with that. He got there in time, but just ran out of room with that fence in the way.
So count 0-1 here. Next pitch by Gilman. That's going to be a chopper over to short. Me fields it. Throw to Monroe in time. So 2 quick outs here for Gilman.
That's kind of what Gilman needs to help settle down a little bit, is just have a 1-2-3 inning here, and we're almost there. 2 out of 3 anyway, with Head getting out.
And now it'll be Mike Flaherty. He flew out the center last time, so he's another one that's aching to get a base hit in his column. Gilman's next pitch, and it's outside, ball 1. 1-0 delivery on the way. This one is foul, and it's going to again go in the Pilot bullpen, and gave that ball flight.
As I noted earlier, this is the first of a back-to-back baseball series on WRFA. Tomorrow night we're back at it with Elmira returning to Diethrick Park.
Yeah, Jamestown's heart was on fire for Elmira, and actually also for that game, one of my personal mentors in broadcasting, Tom Ames, along with Zeke Abbey, they'll be at that game tomorrow, as that is a 5-3 ground out to close out the top of the 4th. So Gilman with a much-needed 1-2-3 inning, and the score remains 2-0.
All right, hey, we're going to take a break from thanking our sponsors here with that quick inning and introduce our 2023 intern at WRFA. We have Will Stallsmith up here in the studio. Will, thanks for taking time out and participating in our internship program this year.
Yeah, thank you for having me. I'm happy to be here.
So let's introduce you to our listeners a little bit. Tell us a little bit about yourselves. As I noted earlier on, you go to St. Bonaventure, right?
Yeah, I do. I'm going to be a senior there in the fall.
What do you study at Bonnie's?
I'm a business major with a minor in sports management.
What are you going to do with that after college?
I've always wanted to work in the sports industry, so just taking that one step at a time wherever I can, and get my feet in the water and maybe find a future job somewhere.
There's a lot of industries and sports, obviously. Do you have any particular?
I've always been a fan of the NBA, NFL, so I've always wanted to work something there. My dream job is GM of the New England Patriots, so hopefully one day.
Hey, we'll get Bob Kraft on the phone here. I don't think a lot of Buffalo Bills fans would appreciate you wanting to be a GM of the, unless you want to go in to sabotage the organization
no,
to help
never,
out the
never.
Buffalo Bills.
All I know is, Jason, I'll say this. Being at the game where Buffalo knocked New England out of the playoffs race, that was magical. Naheem Hines burns them twice. I was right in front of those kickoff returns, and also it's showing that on your noodle arm there, Mac Jones can't hack it.
Give him a year or two. He'll be okay.
He's no Tom Brady.
Well,
nobody is.
You're going to be hearing Will's voice here on WRFA throughout the broadcast and throughout the season. When he's here to stop on by, he's busy this summer, but he will be here at least once a week, and we'll be having Will check in with us a little bit later on. But let's get back to the action, Norm.
Yeah, Guggen's up the bat, and that one low for a ball. And Guggen's, he actually has one of the teams, from what I see here, 2 or 3 hits. He's got a single, so he'll look to go 2 for 2. Next one is a hot shot over to short, and it's fielded there by Head. Throw to first in time for a quick out number 1. All right, so a 6-3 ground out. So, again, for anybody that wasn't sure, Kernodle, he was actually wearing number 15, but he decided to switch numbers. He's now number 44 for the rest of the year. He's playing at third tonight, giving Thompson a night of rest as he hits one over to short. No, it's the third baseman. Throw over to first, and very lucky that was a time because, again, it looked like a miscommunication between Flaherty and Head, and they got to get that situated sooner or later because it could be late in the game where it's close. They might bump into each other and the ball rolls into left field.
Yeah, give it to the third baseman, though, because he's moving in the right direction as he is moving more toward the direction of first base. When you're moving away from first base, it makes for an awkward throw and might have been run out. So I think the right play was made there with the third baseman getting the grounder and making the throw over. Next
pitch is the outside corner for a strike as Gagnon is up. He also has a base hit to his record today.
Yeah, Kieran Gagnon got on first, but he got caught stealing.
Next pitch on the way, fouled off, and looked like it was going to go to the middle part of the press box, but we didn't hear any plinkoing bouncing around in there for strike two. And the good thing is no picture frames were broken either.
Yeah, we had that happen last year, I think.
Johnny Campus. 0-2 pitch on the way by Lowe, and that one just a slightly bit upstairs for a ball, so Gagnon will get to see another pitch in this at-bat and look to extend this inning. Count 1 and 2, 2 outs, nobody on. And here's the next pitch by Lowe. Swing and a miss, strike three. So that is the third strikeout in the last 6 batters faced by Chris Lowe. And 4 innings up and 4 innings complete at Diethrick. And Skunks still behind 2-0. 5th inning coming up in a moment right here on WRFA.
The Asheville Library is excited to announce its summer reading program. The library theme is all together now. And Asheville has embraced the theme with community and collaborative activities for the family. They'll kick off the program with a walkable community scavenger hunt on Saturday, July 8th.
Oh, yeah, your microphone is just a little far off.
I didn't notice it. I might have, shifted when I was writing. Oh, I meant to tell you, that one game where Jones only threw 3 times, I was at that game, too.
Really? Great game.
The wind was crazy.
Throughout the summer with more events throughout July and
compared to that, Allen was whip.
reading program. You can visit
You want to jump?
library.com.
Do a little color commentary?
Yeah, I'd be happy to. Okay. Yeah, you might have to do that.
All right, so the top of the 5th is about to start here, and Gilman's going to get another inning of work with the score still 2-0 in favor of the Pilots, and it's going to be Loveland, Vanzalata, and Nagishi that are due up to bat. But our executive producer, Jason Samples, sitting back for a little bit, going to be getting a chance to do some broadcasting with the WRFA intern, Will Stallsmith. And do you think this is something you may want to keep open for doing if GM possibly doesn't pan out?
Yeah, I think this is definitely something I can see myself doing. A lot of fun. I love watching baseball. I love watching any sport, so getting to call it would be nothing better.
So it is Briggs Loveland that is up to bat. He got walked and was stranded at second in his first appearance. Next pitch, and that's going to drop into center field for a bloop single. So already 6 hits for the Pilots, twice as many as the Skunks have had. And now it will be back to the top with Vanzalata. So far, he's 1 for 2. He has singled, been caught stealing, and has popped out to third. So, bit of a plethora of things going on for him as the next pitch is going to be a bunt. And Gilman, he can't get a clean handle, and it looks like he's safe, and he's going to be. Had Gilman not have misplayed that, the runner would have been out, but that's a bunt single, so 2 on, nobody out, and the Pilots have a chance to hit the ignition on the plane. Oh, they're ruling that an error. Okay, so that's going to be an E1, so I stand corrected. So second error of the game for Jamestown, and that's something that's been an issue for them from time to time as the next pitch is down the pipe for strike 1.
Seems after, that quick last inning that they kind of lost some of their stride here, so they're falling behind.
Next pitch by Gilman on the way. That one in the dirt, but Frahella able to block it for a ball. So who would you say your favorite MLB team is? With you saying you're a Patriots fan, I guess the Red Sox?
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
I guess right.
Yep. Yeah, big Red Sox fan over here. You know, not doing too well this year, but maybe they'll pick it up.
Next pitch was outside for ball 2. I think one of the things that hurt them, though, was losing Martinez.
Yep. Definitely big time. Losing all these star players, not signing them to contracts that they deserve, but just got to move on.
You only have so much space cap-wise. That one's fouled off, evening the count at 2s. So Negishi, his 2 at-bats, he has walked and popped out. He's got a chance to drive a run in. Newark in a 2-0 lead, taking Jamestown to the pilot. Gilman looking for that right pitch to maybe get a strikeout, but also from first to third to force at any base, so possible double play ball in effect as Gilman checks the runner at second. Here's the 2-2, and that's going to go over to first, and might as well exchange the out. Gilman will tag the bag, but the runners do advance 90 feet. So call that a 3-1 ground out, and now it'll be DiMartino, the left fielder. He singled in his last appearance and was left at third. So DiMartino stepping in the box, infield playing very close to the grass. I guess they're anticipating a bunt, but the last time they did that, they got burnt. And next pitch was outside for ball 1.
Just a quick note, we've got number 14, Ryan Rafalski, warming up in the bullpen. Not throwing hard, but he is tossing with his catcher at this point, Norm.
The third-year Tarp Skunk, the veteran of the crew. As the next pitch hits the heart of the plate, evening the count 1-1 with 1 out. Triple sticks on the count out board. As DiMartino looking for his second hit in as many at-bats. Here's the 1-1 by Gilman, and that's going to go to left field for a base hit. And Lovewood's going to score, and Vanzalato's going to get waved home, and he's going to be safe. And DiMartino gets a second base, and he's there safely, so 2 more runs on the board, and Newark showing that, again, that they mean business, and they're flying through the air with the greatest of ease and taking the skunk tails and hanging them over the fireplace the way this is looking right now. 4-0 now the score, and it's going to be up to bat Jack Arkham, the catcher. So credit Justin DiMartino with a 2 RBI double as that one goes into left, and it's going to hang, so caught there by Munoz for out number 2.
I think DiMartino actually only got a base hit is what I'd credit him with, but he advanced to second on a throw to home.
I was kind of thinking that too, but I didn't see fully as the runners were going home. Sometimes a lot of things go on, but it's always exciting. So Frank DiMartino with a base hit can drive home the runner at second, which is Justin DiMartino. So DiMartino could drive home DiMartino squared. As the first pitch to him was a ball. Gilman checking the runner at second. Here's the next pitch. It's going to be grounded over to third. Kernodle fields it. Throw over to Monroe in time, but the Pilots do some more damage. They add 2 more runs, score now 4-0, and Will, I'm going to pass it over to you.
Support for the WRFA's coverage of Jamestown Tarp Skunks baseball is brought to you in part by the County of Chautauqua Industrial Development Agency. The Chautauqua County IDA is an economic development organization authorized and empowered by New York State to make Chautauqua County a better place to work, live, and visit. The IDA facilitates development by attracting new businesses. It also promotes the retention and expansion of existing businesses, and it offers businesses assistance in the forms of tax abstinence, low interest loans, bond financing, all of which enhance the opportunities for job creation and retention across Chautauqua County. The Chautauqua County IDA, a proud supporter of Jamestown Tarp Skunks baseball on WRFA. For more information, call 716-661-8900 or visit ccida.com.
right, score 4-0 here for the Pilots. They are up on it, and the batters due up are Munoz, Frahella, and Wallace. So I know you said you played basketball in high school. Did you play any other sports besides that for the Chat Lake Thunderbirds?
Yeah, I played soccer, and I also ran track for 3 years.
Always got to stay busy.
Yep, always got to do something. You know?
I'm very familiar with Chautauqua Lake. I used to play against them for sports. I went to Brockton.
Okay.
Yeah, I moved down here 2 months after I graduated. I had to get out because Brockton's like a ghost town.
Yeah.
Nothing to do there. But, yeah, I do know your basketball coach, Mike Putney. Very good guy. I've known him since I was 16.
Yeah, he's a great guy. Very, very nice guy.
Next pitch is a chopper over to the pitcher.
Oh, he fumbles it.
But he's able to get the out.
Batting for the Jamestown Tarp Skunks, the catcher from the Diethrick, number 7.
Okay, so Frahella up the bat, and besides that juggle though by Lowe, he did a good job recovering the ball and getting it over the first. So far though for Jamestown, the bats have been pretty much silent. They've been held to just 3 hits, but it's only the 5th inning that can still get something going. And in their comeback over the Niagara Power, they came alive in the last 3 or so innings, so anything can happen. 4 runs is not a big deficit by any means, as that one juggled there by head. He'll get it over to first, but it's not going to be in time. And that's going to be ruled an infield single for Frahella, so his first hit of the game. Just one out, and this is the situation Jamestown needs to take advantage of. And Aiden Wallace, he is the extra hitter, and he'll look to get a base hit to make up for the strikeout back in the 3rd. So that one, a hot shot down to 3rd, but it goes foul for a strike.
Oh, you weren't kidding, Norm. These guys really like to take a swipe at the first pitch they see, eh?
Very true, very true. Hey, if it's one you like, I can understand that. But at the same token, though, if it's one where it's going to hang or whatever, you don't want to risk a pop fly or hitting one that's going to look like a homer, but it goes foul as the next pitch is outside. Ball 1 evens the count.
Wallace chomping at the bit here to try to increase his batting average a little bit. And advance a runner as well with somebody at first base. Got triple sticks on the board, Norm. You got a 1 ball, 1 strike, and 1 out.
Indeed. And Frahella, the runner on first. Next pitch on the way by Lowe, and it's outside and low, ball 2. So Wallace ahead in the count here, 2-1. Next pitch on the way, that one inside, the close shave right there, ball 3. Hey, if Wallace gets walked, that could be a good situation Jamestown can be in. Runners on first and second with 1 out, and Monroe is on deck, and even though he's had some trouble the average, I've seen him crack the ball off the bat. It's just got to be able to stay fair because a lot of them have gone to foul territory, as that is going to be a walk there for Wallace. He will take the pass, and now it'll be Monroe who singled and stole a base in his first appearance.
Well, it's looking promising. I'll say that, promising. We've got 2 runners on base, and I don't think that's happened yet in this ball game for the Tarp Skunks. Oh, hold on a second. In the 3rd inning, they had a runner at second and a runner at first.
Next pitch, that one's hit the left field, and it's towering. DiMartino under it, looking, and it is. It's out of here! And that's going to be a home run for Cooper Monroe, showing the shades of Aaron Judge right there. To the CN Tower it goes, and just like that, one swing of the bat, Monroe going gondola. 4-3, cuts the deficit down to 1 run, and now it's a whole new ball game.
Wow, Cooper Monroe coming out of nowhere there. He had a 160 average coming into the game, and not known for his power, but he showed what he can do there with his height and his ability. Nope, batter's out.
It's a single, 2-run score.
2 runs scored. The batter did not, touch a bag?
So, 2 runs do score either way, so something's better than nothing. It's 4-2. So I stand corrected. That was definitely gone, so he must not have touched a bag.
I'll get clarification from the boys over in the press box. That was a home run. We
Yes,
saw
it
it leave the
was.
park. The ball was nowhere to be seen. So maybe he forgot to step on a bag
That's
while
what I'm
rounding.
thinking.
That's the only thing I can think of as well. Here, meanwhile, back at the play here, there's a quick hit over, shallow hit to the infield. Runners out at first, and that will conclude the inning. But not until after the Tarp Skunks scored 2 runs on a bizarre home run call that essentially isn't a home run because he didn't touch a bag. All the same, they now have a 4-2 ball game. We'll have inning number 6 coming up in a moment right here on WRFA.
Movies at the Reg will continue on June 30th and July 5th.
That is strange.
Showing the Foot Club. The next
I saw that happen once at a college softball game. Like, he really hit a home run to
Yeah,
tie the game, but she didn't touch on play.
Italy.
She jumped over it, but she was
Of course, of course. Yeah, that was crazy. I was trying to listen to what he was saying, but
I couldn't catch it because I had stopped. I'm like, what is it?
107 minutes and is rated PG-13. Tickets for Movies at the Reg can be purchased at the Reg Lene box office
Which bag did he
Monday
touch?
to Friday, 12 to 5 p.m. On Wednesdays, 12 to 8 p.m. and 1 hour before events. You can call the box office at 716-484-7070. You can find tickets and more information online at reglene.com.
This is Norm Rodriguez. Voice the Jamestown Tarp Skunks on WRFA-LP. Tune in for live play-by-play action for each home game right here on your community radio station. For a complete broadcast schedule, visit WRFALP.com/TarpSkunks. See you at the ballpark.
All right, so 2 runs scored by the Skunks, and from what we heard from the guys,
Here's what we heard, Norm. It had nothing to do with not touching a base.
okay.
He ran past the runner in front of him. Cooper
Oh.
Monroe went past one of his
I
teammates who
think
was
I
running the
noticed
base
that.
paths, and because he ran past a tee, you can't do that.
No, you
You're
can't.
automatically out.
Yeah, I noticed that too, because I noticed he was like slightly ahead of him. So that's just bad base running, and that's a huge gap because it could have been a 1-run deficit, and it's still 2. But we do got to call the bullpen as well. It is the veteran of the team, Ryan Rafalski, who has seen several appearances in relief, and so far he's had a few where he's had 3-4 innings, and he's done very well when Bazil has called on him.
Yes, indeed. He's from Warren County, Pennsylvania, which is just south of Jamestown in Chautauqua County, so just across the state line. And this is his 3rd season with the Tarp Skunks. I believe he plays at Mercyhurst
Yes, he
University,
does.
right over in Erie, Pennsylvania, and spends his summers here at Diethrick Park, becoming somewhat familiar with the confines here. And you're right, a solid relief pitcher coming in here. Jamestown scores 4-2. They have 3 runs hung up there on the board, but it was only 2 of them counting, so maybe our scoreboard operator will get that straightened out here in a moment. But the score is 4-2. If you see the camera go to the scoreboard, if you're watching this game on YouTube, because we do simulcast our broadcast over on the Skunks YouTube channel, you will notice that it is 4-2, although the scoreboard indicates 4-3. Still, the Skunks cut the lead in half.
Yes, they did. Next pitch, that's going to go through to center field for a base hit, and yeah, I hate to say that, that's probably like the gap of the year, running ahead of the guy on the base, but it is only the 6th inning, so Jamestown still has opportunities to get back fully into this game. But there was a leadoff single by McReynolds, so he's on base for the 2nd time, and now it will be Wagner. He doubled, RBI'd, and scored a run.
Yeah, you see just about something different every time you come to the ballpark, Norm. I'm still scratching my head over that one.
I'm face palming. Here's the pickoff, but McReynolds gets back in safely.
I mean, you're taught not to gloat running the bases after a home run, so maybe Cooper Monroe was just putting, a little bit of a hot step in his foot there and didn't really think that his teammate was ahead of him, and he ran past him, and you just can't do that.
Next pitch is the outside corner, evens the count 1-1, and honestly, because I know the golden rule is you don't look at the ball as it goes out of the park, so maybe the little pep in the step was a subtle way of celebrating the dinger, but it was all for nothing. Even though it was out of the park, it turned out to be a mirage. 1-1 count, upstairs, 2-1.
I think a big problem, too, is that was a sky-high home run. I mean, that was
it was.
You like to use the term moonshot. That was a moonshot because that went straight up toward the moon. And I think that the runners may have felt that it could be still in play and caught.
That's understandable.
So they weren't exactly rounding the bases quickly. They had to see if it was going to get caught or not.
And Munoz making the catch for the first out and left. And now it'll be Tristan Head.
That had serious hang time. I mean, if you know.
Ray guy.
Yeah, exactly. I'm thinking of punters in the NFL when they hang the ball up there for 4 or 5 seconds. It's phenomenal. That's at least how long that home run seemed like it hung up there.
Yeah, Ray guy. Chris Moore was one of the best at that. Didn't get a lot of yards, but he always had that hang time. That's what mattered. As Rafalski pick off on McReynolds, but he slides back in. I can't believe those 6th inning already. This game's been going fairly fast. Next pitch on the way by Rafalski and hits the inside corner. Strike one. Sliding back in, another pickoff by Rafalski, and he's back in safely. Yeah, over the years, we've seen a lot of different pickoffs by pitchers. Some of them are casual, like we saw with Usin for Batavia. Last year, there were a couple Jamestown guys where it looked like they were about to throw the pitch, but the pickoff was so quick. And that one's going into center, and Catalano makes the catch. It looked like that was going to drop throw to first, not in time, but they do get the second out. Good hustle there by Catalano to make the catch.
Yes, indeed. And now number 21. That's Michael Flaherty up at the plate after Tristan Head flew out to center.
So Rafalski 1 out away from a shutout inning in the books, and next pitch by him on the way. That's in the dirt, but a nice block there by Verhellen. I got to say, all the catchers that Jamestown has used this year, Juwan, Middleman, Frahella, sometimes Servia, they've all done very well when they've had opportunities to play. From what I've seen, they've done well blocking the pitches that are avoidable of going to the backstop, and I say they're filling Campus's shoes very well.
Yeah, very good defenders and blocking the plate and keeping the ball in front of them. You're right about that. I mean, they got 4 catchers on the roster, I think.
They do.
And all of them do a good job. It's a good platoon system that Coach Brazil has this year with his catchers.
Nothing wrong with that. You always want to give them rest, or sometimes they'll throw them at DH, EH. Juwan does it from time to time. Count 1-1. Pitch outside, 2-1 count.
Again, we'll remind you the score is 4-2. Scoreboard still showing 4-3. I think our buddy Roy might not know how to take a run off the board after it gets put on there.
Well, next pitch was a ball 3-1. Well, he also does write a scorebook while he's doing the board. there's times I'm thinking to myself, Roy, I love you, but you don't want to get yelled at.
Multitasking. Or he does a scorebook for his own personal pleasure of keeping. Well,
yes.
It's part of the pastime of watching a ball game is filling out the scorecard.
Yeah, I remember he told me a while back he went to an MLB game, didn't see one guy with a scorecard. I myself thought that was strange. But here's a 3-1, and that's going to go to the backstop. It is ball 4, and McReynolds will just stay put at second. Runners will go station to station. And now it will be Loveland, the second baseman. Earlier, Loveland made a nice diving catch that was in foul territory.
Yeah, the art of keeping a score of a ball game is slowly going the way of the dodo. I can remember when I was younger going to ball games, even here at Jamestown Stadium, Municipal Stadium, back when the Expos played here, the single-A farm team for the Montreal Expos. You'd see just about, 1 out of every 5 person keeping score in their scorebook.
Oh, it's going to be a rundown. Yeah, little too far there on the lead, and Grady Mee hustling. He gets the tag, and I think deep down, the runner on first, I think Flaherty knew he was not going to beat Grady Mee in a game of cat and mouse. So an unconventional way for the third out, and the score remains 4-2 after 5.5.
Well, let's take another one of our sponsors, shall we? Will, take it away.
Support for WRFA's coverage of the Jamestown Tarp Skunks is brought to you in part by Schultz Auto Group. Schultz Auto Group, celebrating over 50 years serving automotive needs of the greater Jamestown community with an excellent customer buying and ownership experience. All repair facilities have experience and factory-trained technicians with state-of-the-art equipment for all automotive needs, no matter what the engine type, gas, diesel, or electric. Schultz Auto Group, a proud supporter of the Jamestown Tarp Skunks baseball on WRFA. For more information, call 1-866-931-2998 or visit schultzauto.com.
All right, with a score 4-2, it's being corrected up on the scoreboard. Lowe's going to get another inning of work. We got the top of the order. This could start some noise here in the bottom of the sixth. Grady Mee, Catalano, and Googans.
Well, Grady Mee is always good to get on base at least once a game, and he's already done that with a walk, but he's also good, it seems like, to get a base hit 1 out of every 3 times at bat, so he's due for a hit tonight as well. Maybe he can get a little something going on here in the bottom of the sixth, Normie.
Oh, for sure. And honestly, I'm sure he's happy he's at least gotten on base in this game, but if he could get on first, I wouldn't mind him doing what we saw Josh Leadham do during their game against Batavia, steal second, steal third. Mee's got the baker's dozen, 13 stolen bases, and he's going to bunt. I like this. Lay it down and leg it out, but that one's going to go foul.
Yeah, right idea there, kind of catching the fielders flat-footed with an attempted bunt, but it did go foul, so we'll go again here. And, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. I don't know if he's going to try that a second time here, but it is Grady Mee, so maybe shame on me.
And he'll swing and miss for strike 2.
So quickly an 0-2 count here against Grady Mee.
Now it's corrected. We already knew it was 4-2. Now it's been updated on the board, and sometimes it has to be restart to get it right. This is going to be a grounder over to second. Fielded there by Loveland. Throw to first. It took a hop, but a nice snag by Wagner to keep Grady Mee off the base.
Grady. I think you might have had a name there you just cooked up unintentionally.
That was unintentional.
Yeah.
Hey, I like that. Grady. Grady going for the gravy.
All the same, that's one away here. Now Paul Catalano comes up. He lined out in the first inning and flew out in the third inning. 0 for 2 on the night. Trying to get on base with 1 out here in the bottom of the sixth inning. The score is 4-2. The visiting Newark Pilots leading your Tarp Skunks.
Next pitch by Lowe is in the dirt for a ball. And so far, no action going on in the Pilot bullpen, so who knows? We may see Lowe for the 7th inning should he get through the 6th without a lot of pitches in his count, as the next pitch was outside for a ball 2. And backtracking a second, though, I got to say, doing the scorebook while calling the game is an absolute lifesaver, along with the cheat sheets we have to take a look at for whoever's out in the field. As the next pitch is again a pogo stick in the dirt, making the count 3-0. And Catalano, it's quite possible he can get a 4-pitch walk the way these last few pitches have been for Lowe.
Yeah, Lowe is starting to show a little bit of fatigue here. There's a pitch across the plate to keep this at-bat going with a 3-1 count. But, I think that's maybe Jamestown's strategy. If Newark wants to keep Lowe out there into this middle of the ball game and toward the end of the ball game, we'll wait to this pitch here.
And that one's outside, ball 4.
Take a few pitches, he's already showing fatigue. Let him work his arm out a little bit more. And sooner or later, they're going to have to start warming somebody up. He's doing a sharp job. Like I said, not a lot of strikeouts. I think he only has 3 strikeouts on the ball game so far through 6 innings. But he's not really seen a lot of hits except for that moonshot we saw from Monroe last inning, that home run that wasn't. I don't know how they're going to score that, if they still count it as a home run or not.
They called it a single, as that's grounder over the third. A 5, 4, 3 double play. So the Pilots answer with going around the horn with a double play to end 6 innings, and score still 4-2. Pilots ahead. 7th inning coming up right here on WRFA.
Calling all adventure lovers. Infinity has the thing to get you out exploring Chautauqua County this summer. Infinity's Ultimate Adventure Challenge takes place from May 1st through November 16th, 2023. Visit various locations provided by Infinity in this fun adventure that combines beautiful local public art and aspects of
is.
challenges with a family-friendly scavenger hunt. All proceeds support music and
I'm
arts
ready for the two
education
double
for
headers.
children
Bring them
and
on.
teens at the Infinity Center. For more information, you can visit Infinity Performing Arts online at infinityperformingarts.org.
You're listening to Jamestown Tarp Skunks baseball right here on WRSALP 107.9 FM in Jamestown.
Top of the 7th about to start here, and the Pilots, they're 3 innings away from extending their wins to 2 in a row. They're 3-14 in the season, looking to get something going, and right now they're surprising the Skunks, who are on a 4-game winning streak, are in second in the West. They're ahead on them 4-2 as Rafalski is going to get another inning of work on the belt.
Well, you know, Norm, it's not how you start, it's how you finish, and I'm not trying to take anything away from the Newark Pilots, but we do know that Jamestown seems to come on in the second half of a ball game, and we're in that second half right now as we enter the 7th inning. Jamestown still has 9 outs to try to get 2 more runs, but their defense needs to buckle down and prevent Newark from doing anything else. And they've had plenty of chances this entire ball game. Newark Pilots have. They've capitalized a few times. They've also left a few runners on, and Jamestown just needs to try to focus, stay sharp, and have a 1-2-3 inning, at least a couple more of them here in these next 3 innings to make a go at this ball game and trying to come back and eventually win it.
And it looks like Newark is warming up in the bullpen over there, getting some guys stretched out. So maybe we'll see a pitching change next inning.
Right on.
Yeah, I did see that they were doing a little long toss over there, but with it being that far, sometimes it's tricky to see the number as the next pitch by Rafalski hits the inside corner for a strike. And before the next pitch, Skunks fans, we're at the top of the hour. You're listening to Jamestown Tarp Skunk Baseball on WRFALP 107.9 FM in Jamestown, New York, as the next pitch was a ball that went through the 5-hole on Frahella, but no baseman, no runners on base, no harm, no foul. Counts even 1-1.
Wind's picking up a little bit now, too. I wonder if that had anything to do with Monroe's home run that wasn't.
Next pitch on the way by Rafalski. That one's fouled off and going near the Pew Crew area. I'm sure they'll take that free souvenir.
You mentioned near the Pew Crew. We have to remind listeners, especially those that aren't from Jamestown, the Pew Crew is a group of loyal fans that attend every single home game, sitting right behind the home field dugout here at Diethrick Park. And they actually literally have a pew from Chautauqua Institution in the bleachers as that one goes foul that they sit in. And obviously a skunk smells.
Oh, yeah.
It smells terrible, so you say pew, and that's kind of why they called it the Pew Crew. And then they brought in the pew from the old amphitheater at the Chautauqua Institution for them to kick back on and relax once in a while.
Well, here's the 1-2 on the way. Swing and a miss, strike 3. And, yeah, back on the 14th when Tom and Zeke were on broadcast when I had the night off, I actually had a chance to watch the game with the Pew Crew. They're an interesting bunch to hang out with for what I can say.
I think a couple of them are employees at the Southern Tier Brewing Company, which is just outside of Jamestown in Lakewood, a world-renowned microbrewery based right here in Chautauqua County.
As the next pitch was outside for a ball, making it 1-0.
Also the host of our annual fundraiser on WRFA that we had earlier this month.
I've always heard those Great American Picnics can be a fun riot.
They're a good time. A lot of very talented musicians performing, doing some great music, and a lot of friendly faces as well. It is a good time.
Well, here's a 2-0 pitch. That's going to be grounded over to Monroe, and he will tag the bag himself for the second out. So Rafalski's got a chance for a 1-2-3 inning, and so far the Skunks have yet to do that defensively.
We did have a 1-2-3 inning in the 4th inning with Gilman.
Oh, yes. I was looking at the crumpled part.
Yeah, I understand.
What you do is so long, it's like...
Right.
It's almost like we're reading it in Morse code or
but
something.
It gets back to what I said at the start of this inning. They do want to try to get, 3 outs here.
Well, looks like they can. Googans fields it. Throw to Monroe in time. So 1-2-3 inning for Rafalski. And that's going to make the score still 4-2 as we have the 7th inning stretch.
Support for the WRFA's coverage of Jamestown Tarp Skunks is brought to you in part by Chautauqua Institution. Chautauqua Institution, a community on the shores of Chautauqua Lake that come alive each summer with the unique mix of fine and performing arts, including theater and musical entertainment, along with lectures, interfaith worship, and programs and recreational activities. The 2023 season features names like Natalie Merchant, Diana Ross, Patti LaBelle, The Revivalists, Panda Horses, Straight No Chaser, Trombone Shorty, and Mavis Staples, and many more names. Chautauqua Institution. For more information, call 1-800-836-ARTS. That is 1-800-836-2787. Or visit discover.chq.org.
Oh, goodness. I was hoping we'd get some of that on there as, Will was reading our sponsor from the institution. The seventh inning stretch taking you out to the ball game, led by two members of the Jamestown Tarp Skunks, including a pitcher, Andrew Ayers.
And also Evan Burdo was the other one. So
Yeah.
two pitchers, so a pitcher square there and singing it. And
And that's almost as bad as me singing. I had to sing Happy Birthday at the Great American Picnic to the wonderful Sarah Rafalski, a local musician here in Jamestown, and I thought I sang bad. Those guys give me a run for my money. But it was wonderful to hear them out there doing it. That's what it's all about.
Yeah, so Kernodle, Gagnon, and Munoz are due up, and usually a lot of the times Scotty James is there with them, but again, he's going through some personal things, but we do again hope he gets well soon.
Yeah, if you're watching or listening, Scotty James, we miss you, buddy. Hang in there, and we're always happy to see your updates on Facebook, so keep them coming.
So Kernodle looking to get on first to start the bottom of the seventh. Skunks running out of chances here, down to their last 9 outs, and it's only a 2-run deficit as the first pitch was inside for a ball.
Well, we're in the meat of the order here. Jake Kernodle grounded out 2 times. He's 0 for 2. That's a blast.
Yeah, that's the left field. Get out of here. It's gone. Solo home run for Jake Kernodle. That ball, Gondola.
That's his second of the season, if I'm not mistaken.
Kernodle bringing the Noodles home, 4-3. A solo homer, and this time, Skunks fan, this one counts. There's no runners on base. There's going to be no running folly this time. That one, around the same area it went out as Monroe's quote-unquote dinger, but that's got to bring the momentum up. 4-3 now the score.
Boy, he just lit right into that first pitch there, and I think the wear and tear on Chris Lowe is starting to show here.
Gagnon hits it over to third, and here comes the throw by Flaherty to Wagner in time for the first out.
So you get a 5-3 ground out there with Gagnon, but we've got ourselves a 1-run ball game now here in the bottom of the 7th inning, 4-3. Tarp Skunks trailing by the slimmest of margins and plenty of baseball left to be played. Here comes Jared Munoz, the left fielder. He flew out in the 2nd inning, grounded out in the 5th inning. He's 0 for 2 on the night.
Yes, so the second official homer we have seen at Diethrick this year. The other one was by Calabro for the Muck Dogs, and activity going on in the Pilot bullpen.
Yeah, one of them's wearing a worn-up jersey, so I can't get the number there. The other one appears to be number 4 for the Newark Pilots.
Yeah, from my view, it looked like it was a single-digit number.
Actually, the one in the warm-up jersey is throwing a football, too, so I don't know if that really means anything.
Maybe to loosen the arm up a bit.
That does help loosen
outside,
your arm.
making it 2-0.
Stretches out the ligaments and what have you. That or they just can't wait for the season to begin.
Next pitch, 2-0 count, and that one hits the inside corner for strike 1. So counting still in Munoz's favor, 2-1 with 1 out, and just a couple batters ago, Kernodle with a solo bomb, and that's going to go through to center field for a base hit. First hit of the game for Jared Munoz.
And he's on with just 1 out, and here comes Evan Frahella, the catcher, who flew out in the 2nd inning and got a base hit in the 5th inning. He also scored a run in the 5th inning. The first run of the ball game for the Tarp Skunks. Of course, that was by way of the home run we saw from Cooper Monroe. Would have been a 3-run dinger. However, Cooper Monroe passed one of his fellow base runners there in Aiden Wallace, and so he got credited with a single and was out rather than getting a home run. We've got a little bit of pause in action here.
Pinch runner.
And we got a pinch runner. Who else?
It's the hero from Sunday afternoon, Braden Johnson. He's the guy that stole home in the comeback win over Niagara. And in this game, Jamestown was down by 4 runs. They've cut it down to 1. And I actually did find out who's in the bullpen now for the Pilots. It's Pete Joslin, number 4. Actually, if you take a look at Newark's lineup, they do got all the substitutions.
So I interviewed Braden Johnson. I don't know if the listeners caught this at home, but when I asked him, what does he like to do besides playing baseball, he says, I like to hit bottle caps with a bat.
Oh, yeah, I heard that, yeah.
Which is very unique, but I would imagine it does help with your hand-eye coordination as well.
Yeah, because bottle caps are very small, like the size of a dime. He's got a good lead off the bag, though. Here's the next pitch, and Frahella gives it a good shot, but it's going to go foul.
That almost went to Frahella back. Sorry. It's not good, Norm. Leave it up to you.
I was going to say a little shaky, or like a little sketchy, like, because, but I personally, I like it, but we don't know if someone will be like, how dare they?
I'll leave it up to you.
Personally, I like it.
I thought it was pretty good.
The ball went for a Helen back. Kind of like Greedy Grady, as the next pitch was inside for a ball.
Well, all kidding aside here, we've got ourselves a great ball game. It's 4-3 here in the bottom of the 7th inning. 1 runner on first for the Tarp Skunks. They're down by 1 run, but can cut into that with a tying run at first and Braden Johnson.
Next pitch, and this is a grounder. This could be 2, 5, 4, 3, double play. Second straight inning that Newark ends an inning going around the horn, but Kernodle does damage with a solo moonshot, cuts a deficit to 1, 4-3. We'll have the 8th inning coming up after this on WRFA.
Hey, what's up? What are you listening to?
WRFA.
On your phone?
Yeah, they got a really cool app.
I didn't know that. You listen to Small Things Considered?
Yes.
Democracy Now? The local rush hour?
Absolutely.
Arts on Fire?
Let's have another 1-2-3 inning.
Old episodes of Third Street Garage or Community Matters from the archives.
Regardless of the result, this is a good game.
Go to the App Store or wherever you get your apps and type in WRFA. And here's the secret.
And your first one, you get to see a homer. Or 2. Put an asterisk on it.
Everything the radio has and more. Leave me alone, I'm listening.
Jamestown Tarp Skunks baseball right here on WRFA-LP 107.9 FM in Jamestown.
Top of the 8th about to start here and score again. It's cut to 1, 4-3. For anybody that missed it, back in the bottom of the 7th, Jake Kernodle hit a solo home run and cut the deficit down to 1. And Rafalski getting set to get another inning of work as he'll be facing Justin DiMartino, Archimone, and then Frank DiMartino. Those are the 3 batters due up, so roughly the middle of the lineup.
Yeah, Rafalski looking pretty sharp here in this ball game. Coming in relief in the 6th inning, I believe he came in. He had a 1-2-3 inning in the 7th inning. This is the 3rd inning in relief, spelling Casey Gilman. Casey Gilman had somewhat of a rocky start to the ball game, giving up 4 runs. 3 of them were earned. I think one of them was by way of error. Jamestown has done what it can to stay in this ball game, reminiscent of what we saw on Sunday during that comeback, and we might see another comeback here. But as it stands, Jamestown is down by 1 run, top of the 8th inning. They need to prevent Newark from scoring anymore and try to tie this game up here in the bottom of the 8th or at the conclusion in the bottom of the 9th. But one step at a time, one batter at a time, and here comes the next batter, number 10, DiMartino, the left fielder for the Pilots.
He's looking for his 3rd hit. He's 2 for 3. He has singled and doubled. His next pitch is outside for a ball, and he does also have 2 RBIs. Besides 2 2-run innings, though, by Newark, all the other innings have been zeros. Next pitch on the way by Rafalski is fouled off, evens the count.
Our intern Will Stallsmith said that he's a New England Patriots fan. Norm, you are a Buffalo Bills fan, and I'm a
Indeed.
Pittsburgh Steelers. Between the 3 of us, we have 12 Super Bowl championships.
Yeah, we do.
Well, the only difference is Buffalo's, though they don't have any, they don't have asterisks on them.
Well, they do have they do have a 1966 AFL championship.
Yeah,
so,
because Brown fans like to throw that at me. It's like, have you been to a Super Bowl? Yes, sit down. 1-2 pitch by Rafalski. Swung on and missed. Strike 3.
Nice. Rafalski looking sharp here in relief. And we've seen him for the past 2.5 seasons now, but it seems like every year he gets better. I mean, he's really doing what he can to keep his team in it right now and doing what a reliever is intended to do.
So now it'll be Archimone, the first baseman.
Yeah, Archimone flew out in the first inning, got a base hit in the third, and he flew out in the fifth. 1 for 3 so far on the night. This is his 4th plate appearance. Looking at an 0-1 count right now here with 1 out, top of the 8th inning.
Rafalski's next pitch is fouled off and hits off the netting of the grandstands for strike 2. Rafalski, he has struck out back-to-back batters. Maybe he'd like to cook himself a turkey and get 3 in a row. Here's the 0-2 on the way. And that one just a touch upstairs, ball 1, but he is still ahead in the count. Shaking off a couple of signs from Frahella. Here's the 1-2. That's going to be a chopper over to second. Guggens, though, with the field. Throw to Monroe in time for the second out.
So a 4-3 ground out there. Quickly 2 away. And now we have Frank DiMartino, the center fielder, stepping up, number 25. He struck out in the 2nd inning. Sacrifice bunt, I believe it was, in the 3rd inning. And he grounded out in the 5th inning. So he is 0 for 3 on the day.
Next pitch by Rafalski, and that one deflected off Frahella's glove, but it was outside anyway for a ball. So Frank DiMartino looking to at least get 1 hit to at least be identical to, I would assume, his brother. 1-0 pitch on the way by Rafalski, and that's going to go foul over top of the press box, evens the count. So count 1-1, 2 outs, and again score 4-3. And similar stat lines and runs and hits. Newark has 1 hit more and 1 run more than the Skunks, 4 and 8 versus 3 and 7. That's how tight this has been.
Yeah, Jamestown with 2 errors. One of them cost Jamestown a run.
Next pitch, nice catch by Frahella to avoid it going to the backstop, though there were no runners on base. Count 2-1.
That's really the difference of the ball game, Norm, is that 1 error. I mean, you're right.
Yeah.
It's really almost a mirror image in terms of earned runs and hits.
Next one outside for ball 3, and should DiMartino get walked or get on base, McReynolds is on deck. Rafalski looking to at least force a full count. Here's the 3-1. And that one upstairs, a little close shave. No Barbasol required there, and it's going to be a walk for DiMartino. So now it will be Harris McReynolds, the extra hitter.
In the batter's box, the extra hitter, number 14, Harris McReynolds.
So McReynolds is up to bat. He's gotten on base twice. He has walked and singled. Rafalski's next pitch, runner goes. Here's a throw by Frahella, and it's not going to be in time. So that's going to be a stolen base for Frank DiMartino.
Well, you got 2 outs here, and I mean, obviously, just focus on the guy at the plate right now. You got a 1-0 count here, and you can get out of this relatively unscathed.
And it's going to be an intentional walk to force a double play, so McReynolds will take that, and now it's going to be Tim Wagner. And we saw that on Sunday in the bottom of the 9th. Niagara intentionally walked not 1 but 2 batters, and that's what led to Johnson stealing home. So, and that doesn't count against the pitch count. They just throw the signal now of 4. They take the base, and I like that. A force out, and it appears to be Ayers warming up in the bullpen right now for Jamestown, and it is.
Well, I'm thinking of who is the great player for the longtime player for the Detroit Tigers, Cabrera.
Miguel Cabrera?
Miguel Cabrera was intentionally walked one time, but the pitcher made the mistake of throwing it too far inside. He swung and got a base hit and drove in a run.
Yeah.
And I kind of like. I mean, rarely does it happen, but I think, hey, if you're going to walk somebody, I still believe you have to throw the pitches to walk them rather than just giving them the pass
Right.
without throwing it. But that's nitpicking to say that it ruins the
Yeah.
game. I'm not going to go that far. I just always like that.
preserve the pitcher.
Yeah.
Well, and you know what's funny? He did that as a Marlin, not a Tiger.
Oh, I thought he was always played for Detroit.
No, he spent his first 4 or 5 years with the Florida Marlins. He got a World Series when they beat the Yankees in '03.
Oh, okay.
And then after that, he went to Detroit, and the rest is history. Future Hall of Famer, 3,000-plus hits.
Yeah, the most recent player to reach the 3,000 plateau, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, before that, it was Adrian Beltre back like 5 years ago.
Jeter, too, wasn't too far back, right? I mean, obviously he hasn't played.
2010, 2011.
All right.
And it was a home run. And the pitcher was David Price.
Well, geez, tell me something you don't know, Norm.
I may know a lot, but I don't know everything. But, again, it's going to be Wagner up the bat. He has an RBI double and is 1 for 3 on the evening. So runners on first and second after McReynolds took the free pass intentionally. Next pitch by Rafalski. It skips in the dirt, and the runners will stay put. And, again, a great job keeping the ball in his area by Frahella.
Yeah, Frahella's doing a great job at the backstop back there. Not a lot of wild pitches we've seen, or at least with runners on board. And let's keep it that way.
Yeah, and Rafalski's got 2 outs, so a force at second or even a force at third can end it. Here's the pickoff, and if Monroe have had the ball, McReynolds would have been cooked.
Yeah, instead of hit McReynolds as he slid into first, I think his hand was on the bag before it hit him. Wagner, or Wagner, if you're a fan of German classical composers of the 19th century, whatever. Tim Wagner here, still battling with Rafalski. And the count is still 1-0.
Next pitch is going to be a chopper. Me fields it, flips it over to Googans in time for the third out. So score remains a 1-run deficit, 4-3. And once again, Will, I'll shift it over to you.
Support for WRFA Radio is brought to you in part by listeners like you. WRFA is a non-commercial, non-profit community radio station. Anyone who wants to make a donation of any amount can do so by simply clicking the donate button located on the menu bar of our website, WRFALP.com. It's fast and easy. Checks of any amount can also be made out to WRF Radio and mailed to the radio station at 116 East 3rd Street, Jamestown, New York, 14701. Local businesses are also encouraged to make an underwriting contribution to WRFA. To learn more about becoming a station underwriter, email WRFA@reginaldlene.com. If you enjoy this program, please consider making a donation or underwriting contribution today. Your support is greatly appreciated. Low power to the people. Right on.
And right on indeed, as the Pilots made a call to the bullpen, it is Pete Joslin, number 4, that is taken over on the rubber after a strong performance for the most part by Chris Lowe.
Well, Pete Joslin has pitched 4 games. He hasn't started any. He's a reliever. He's pitched 5 2/3 innings, given up 5 hits, 5 runs. 4 of them have been earned. He's had 5 walks, 3 strikeouts, and his ERA is 6.35. So, not trying to take anything away from Joslin at all, but this could help out the Skunks in their effort facing a reliever who doesn't put up the best numbers. But obviously, he's focused in on getting these 3 outs against Jamestown, and he could very well do it. I'm not saying that he won't. I'm just saying the numbers here reflect an opportunity for Jamestown to try to tie this game up here in the bottom of the 8th inning.
And that's where the Skunks need to whip out those fangs and take a big bite. They're down to their last 6 outs.
Skunks have fangs. I think they do.
I'm not too sure. I was just saying that just for effect.
I think they're omnivores. I think they're kind of like us. You know, they have the canines as well as eat a lot of they'll eat anything you throw their way. Not that I feed skunks.
Well, I'm not an animal guy myself, so yeah. Plus, I'll feel like getting sprayed by Pepe Le Pew. So it's gonna be Aiden Walsh coming up the bat though. He, Monroe, and Bendecker due up.
So we got Jocelyn now for the Newark Pilots on the mound. And the first batter he'll face, as Norm said, will be number 9, Aiden Wallace. Extra hitter. He struck out in the 3rd inning and walked in the 5th inning. 0 for 1 on the night. He also scored a run on that Cooper Monroe home run that became a base hit. That became an out.
So just, excuse me, so just wait for some new balls from the umpire to get started. So Joslin about to throw his first pitch of this appearance. He gets a sign, next pitch on the way, and that one inside, ball one. That actually came close to hitting Wallace. So Wallace a southpaw, next pitch on the way in the 1-0. And that one outside, 2-0. He had it in the right spot, but he must not have gotten enough of the outside corner. So Wallace ahead in the count, 2-0, as Joslin looks to get a strike in the column, and he will, outside corner. Again, there is action going on in the bullpen for Jamestown.
Will go take a look at the bullpen and let us know exactly who it is. We always have a hard time reading these skunky numbers.
Next pitch is inside for a ball, making it 3-1, and
Eagle Eye Rodriguez may have spotted it, but we don't want Will to go on a mission for nothing, so we'll keep it to ourselves here, Mr. 20-30 vision.
So count 3-1 here. Next pitch on the way, and he fouls it off. Count goes full. So 3-2 pitch here coming for Pete Joslin, as Wallace will look to get on base. Whether it's a base hit or a walk, as if he gets on base to lead it off, that could start some magic. The Skunks have been known for it throughout their history. Here's the payoff by Joslin, and that's fouled off, and it goes over top of the press box and near the concession stands. Count stays full.
Well, you know, the Skunks have 6 outs remaining here. The bottom of the 8th inning to score 1 run. Not insurmountable at all.
Next one. Oh, he's caught looking. I thought that pitch was slightly low, but Wallace gets caught looking, and with 1 out, it's going to be Cooper Monroe, the victim of the home run. That was not by Dr. Seuss.
Yeah,
it was out of the park, but he outran a runner ahead of him.
Yeah, you see something different just about every time you come out to the ballpark, no matter what level it's at, whether you're watching Little League or watching high school or Major League Baseball or collegiate play like this. That's the first time I've seen that happen. And I'm sure it's happened before, but it's the first time I've witnessed it.
I saw a clip during a college softball game where there was a tying home run for Oklahoma, but the hitter was out because she failed to touch home plate. She jumped over it. Next pitch to Monroe, though, is a ball, 2-0, and he's had a good game tonight. He's 2 for 2, a single, and THR, a technical home run that became a single. But he was credited with 2 RBIs, so hard to be upset about fully. But here's a 2-0 pitch by Joslin, outside, ball 3.
Yeah, 3-0 count right here. Cooper Monroe may just want to be a statue here. Red light, red light, red light. And we'll see if he can reach base.
3-0 pitch, and that's inside. A 4-pitch walk for Monroe, and in 3 appearances, he has been on base every time. So now it will be Bendeck, the DH.
Bendeck struck out looking in the 3rd inning, and he grounded out in the 5th inning.
Let's see. Oh, it looks like it may be a pinch hitter.
Yeah, I think we do have a pinch hitter.
Or maybe not.
I don't know. Coach Bazil is trying. Pinch runner. We've got a pinch runner, number 39 for the.
Zach Kent.
So Andrew Ayers from St. Bonaventure is warming up in the bullpen. Thank you very much, Will, for checking that out.
Yeah, and the pinch runner, faster than a speeding bullet, doesn't need a telephone booth to get into his jersey. Superman, Zach Kent.
You said the pinch runner. I was looking at the pinch runner is
Zach Kent.
Zach Kent. Thank you.
Pinch running for Monroe. Well, at least Monroe could walk out saying, hey, I got the steal base.
Well, we got a runner at first with Zach Kent. Here comes the pitch. That'll be high for a ball.
So 5 straight balls thrown by Joslin. And there's more action going on in the Newark bullpen right now. Looks like a number in the 20s from my view. But pick off, but Kent gets back in safely.
Norm, that would be number 31.
Oh. So Kent's got a good lead off of the bag. He's taken off. Here comes the pitch. And that's not going to be in time. Kent had too big of a jump. Easy steal there for Zach Kent.
Yeah, we got a runner in scoring position here in the bottom of the 8th inning, down by 1 run for the Skunks. They're cooking a little bit here. Things might get a little stinky before it's all said and done.
Yep.
Courtesy of Jamestown.
And the pitcher warming up. Sorry.
Yeah, only 1 out.
Oh, yeah, for sure. And it's Cam Kingsley warming up for Newark. Didn't mean to do an inadvertent cut off that pitch. Inside, ball 3. So 7 straight balls for 7 brothers by Joslin, and he's 1 away from back-to-back 4-pitch walks. That would not look good on the stat sheet. It's a red light here, 3-0. Bendeck is ahead in the count. This at-bat is his for the taking. He's got to help himself. Kent's taking off, and it's going to be safe, and it goes to left field. Kent's going to head home. Bazille's waving him. Here comes a throw. Tie game. Bendeck heading to second, and he's going to be out. Even so, it's a tie game. Kent takes advantage of the bad throw by Archimone, and we are tied up. Skunks come back from 4 down, and it's tied up. The Cardiac Skunks here tonight.
There you go, Norm. I said they might have a chance to do something here, and sure enough, they did. Taking advantage of a walk and a wild pitch on the second walk there, and heads up running there by Zach Kent, the pinch runner. Also, good job by Coach Bazille to let him know that he should take home, because I think he was picking dirt out of his teeth from sliding into third base there, trying to get that initial steal.
So Grady me up the bat as we're back to the top of the order. Here's the next pitch by Joslin. Outside, count goes even at 1s. Yeah, even though Bendeck was out at second, the job's done. The score is tied. And it was 4-0 Newark, but now the Skunks putting the Pilots in neutral. 1-1 pitch. It's going to be foul out of play. 1-2.
Boy, Grady Me would love to keep this inning going here. He's really hasn't had a hit yet tonight. He is 0 for 2 on the night, including a walk as well. But Grady Me is known to get on base. Like I said, his on-base percentage going into this game was hovering around 440 or so, and his batting average leads the team.
Here's the 1-2, fouled off to the backstop, so Me will get to see another pitch. Grady Me feeling the greediness of Grady. Said that unintentionally, but I like it, so I'm sticking with it. Here's the 1-2. Upstairs, count goes even. Triple deuces, 2-2 count, 2 outs.
Yeah, Jocelyn here has 2 outs to go with, including a strikeout looking to the first batter he faced here in the bottom of the 8th inning.
2-2 pitch on the way by Joslin, and hot shot in the left field, base hit. And that's something that Newark could not afford to do, and Grady getting the first, and I wonder if he's hungry to go for steal number 14. We'll have to wait and see as Catalano comes up the bat.
Well, Jamestown wants to try to get the lead here in the bottom of the 8th. We want to get the lead anyway, but getting it in the bottom of the 8th forces the pressure on Newark in the top of the 9th inning. Obviously, you're going to see Grady, if he has the opportunity, he'll steal second, no doubt about it, even with 2 outs.
Next pitch on the way, and it's right down Broadway, strike 1.
And so typically what you see is a runner who may steal the bag. Look at the first couple of pitches to get the timing down from the pitcher to know the right time to possibly steal. So Grady may be doing that with the first couple of pitches here.
He's taking off, and that's going to get hit in the right. Is it going to go far enough? And making the catch in right field is Vanzalata, and dangerously close to dropping. I don't know why he didn't let me steal that one and not swing, but it was a good lick, but it hung a little too long. However, Skunks tie it up on Kent's 2 steals and a run off of a bad throw. 4-4 tie, 9th inning coming up on WRFA.
Hi, I'm JC Bamble, WRFA LP Station Manager, here to talk about underwriting on WRFA. People ask me all the time, what is underwriting? Well, it's similar to advertising, but since we are a non-commercial educational radio station, we have certain rules about the messages we produce for businesses who support us. We don't give prices for services or products, or calls to action like stop in today. We We don't use comparison words like the best or the cheapest. And we don't crowd our airwaves so that your business message is heard. The goal of underwriting on WRSA is to provide transparency to our listeners about where our funding comes from, while recognizing those businesses and organizations by name, along with details like who, what, where, and when. We also feature all underwriters on our website and offer discounts to fellow nonprofits. To get your business or organization on the air with WRSA, contact me at WRSA@RegLeMay.com or call 716-664-2465 extension 209. Let me find the right fit for you on WRSA. You're listening to Jamestown Tarp Skunks Baseball, right here on WRSA LP 107.9 FM in Jamestown.
Top of the ninth here at Diethrick, and it's a whole new ball game. Cardiac Skunks, back-to-back home games. They were down by at least 3 runs. The one against Niagara, they came back and won. This one right now is tied at 4, and it's going to be, I would say, the top relief man for Jamestown. Andrew Ayers is on the belt, and also sub at first Colin Hauk in with Monroe being pinch run for back in the bottom.
Yeah, Andrew Ayers really sharp for Jamestown. 19.1 innings in relief. Had given up 20 hits, but only 7 runs, 6 of them earned. He's had 19 strikeouts, leading the team as a reliever in strikeouts. 2 saves. His ERA is 2.79. He goes to St. Bonaventure University, and our friend Will Smith here, Will Stahl Smith. Anyone ever call you Will Smith? I apologize. Will. I think we may be off the air, so we're going to take a quick break, call back the radio station, and we'll be back for the final inning in a moment here on WRFA.
In the batter's box for the Newark Pilot, the shortstop number 23, Justin Head.
Howdy, howdy.
Hello, we're ready to be back on the air.
All right, here we go.
And we're just going to start calling the game here, Norm. I believe that we are back on the broadcast. Apologize for those, a slight technical difficulty, but we haven't missed anything. Here's the first pitch of the 9th inning.
Yeah, it's Tristan Head as it's fouled off, and for hell I've thought about it, but it's going to go way out of play for a strike. So, quick recap. Your first 5 innings, it looked like the Pilots were going to fly away with the win. They were up 4-0, but the Skunks said, not on my watch. They told Newark to say hello to the stinky little friend. 4 unanswered runs in the last 4 innings. They have had 3 straight scoreless innings, the main ones being by Ryan Rafalski, who did another great job coming in for Gilman, who will now have the no decision. Next pitch is low, making the count 1-1.
So as we were saying before we were cut off there is the pitcher for Jamestown, Andrew Ayers, is from St. Bonaventure, and Will Stahlsmith, our intern, also is at St. Bonnie's. They had the chance to meet each other for the first time before this game.
Next pitch is that one. That's going to be extra bases possibly. Grady Mee gets it, and no, he'll stay put at first. The way it was looking, it looked like it was going to roll, but Mee with the good hustle, and it's better to allow a leadoff single than a leadoff double.
Mee slipped, though, too. I
Yeah,
think
he
he
did.
may have had a beat on that ball, but he slipped and fell down, and that allowed the base hit. Talking about Andrew Ayers, though, and Will, you don't know Andrew, right?
No, that was the first time I met him tonight, but I'm sure I'll see him around campus in the fall.
Right on. I forget that St. Bonnie's is a rather large school.
It's a large but kind of small. It's not too big. You see everybody at least once. So
Right.
I'm sure I'll see him in the dining hall or walking around campus somewhere.
What do they usually have? About 6,000 or so? A little bit more?
A little bit less, around 5,000 or so,
Okay.
around there.
Right on. All the same, a good school just up the road here in Olean, New York. Next county over in Cattaraugus, for those who are from out of town and unfamiliar with the Western New York / Southern Tier region of the Empire State.
Yeah, so back-to-back pickoffs, and that's the pro of actually being a left-handed pitcher, because when you're looking at first, it's almost direct eye contact.
Keeps the base runner honest.
That too. Count 1-0 here, and that one hits the outside corner for a strike, so Tristan Head, led off with his second single of the game, and now it's Flaherty, and he hasn't had a hit, but he has gotten on base by a walk.
Yeah, 0 for 2 in at-bats with that walk, as you noted, Norm. This is his 4th plate appearance.
Another pickoff and back in safely, and it's a good catch there by Houck because sometimes we've seen it. We saw it a lot last season where they were going into the well one too many times and they struck mud with a bad throw that went to the gates. I would say just focus on this batter and trust Frahella's arm as the runner goes. It's a pitch out, but he double pumped it. Had that not have happened, he possibly would have gotten him out, but it was indeed a pitch out, but
Yeah, stuck in his mitt. It happens sometimes. He tried to get the ball out too quickly, and it kind of mitt wouldn't let go of it. So you're right, he had to do that double pump there. And now we've got a runner in scoring position for Newark here in the top of the 9th inning. It's a tie ball game if you're joining us on the radio. It's 4-4, top of the 9th inning, a very fast-moving ball game here at Diethrick Park. I think we've only been playing for about 2 hours plus 5 minutes or so.
Yeah.
The game is just breezing right along, and it's been a very entertaining ball game as well. 4-4 the score. Newark and Jamestown dueling it out here, and right now Newark has a chance to retake the lead after leading since the 2nd inning before being tied up last inning in the bottom of the 8th inning.
Yeah, there's already another pitcher warming up in the Skunk bullpen. Taking a look at the size of him, it does look like it's Jason Mazik, number 40. But the next pitch was in the dirt for a ball, but again, Frahella, he's done a terrific job behind the dish tonight, saving the pitchers from wild pitches, but it's going to be a 4-pitch walk, and I understand why. The count's 3-1, and you still have the double play in effect from first to third.
Yeah,
so I can see why.
Yeah, a wild pitch could effectively reduce your chances of trying to get a force out in field here, so why not try to get another runner on base and get a force out on any bag here with 1 out. Runners at first and second with the batter now at the plate is number 12, Loveland, showing a bunt.
Yeah, Houck playing very tight. Here it comes. He'll pull back, and the pitch is low, ball 1. That was something Patrick O'Shaughnessy was known for. He'd play real close to the batter to anticipate maybe a pop-up going his way or one that goes in his direction. But yeah, though, he and Kernodle are playing very tight. Here's a bunt, and that one's it's a miscommunication, and he's going to be safe. Miscommunication between Kernodle and Ayers, but with no outs here, the base is jammed. 10th hit of the game for the Pilots, and the only positive thing I can say for Ayers is it is now a force at any base. I would say if it's close enough, aim for that plate and avoid a run scoring, because you've come back from 4, you don't want to fall behind again.
And they've got number 3 at the plate. That is the leadoff hitter, Venzolata. Got a base hit in the first inning. He's been quiet since then. He did reach base on an error in the 5th inning and scored a run. The only run scored on an error in this ball game.
And another nice save there by Frahella. Ball 1. When you're a pitcher, whether it's a starter or a reliever, if you want to make the show, one of the things you have to be able to at least be decent at is of getting out of situations like he's in right now. Part of the road to the show.
He's done it earlier this season. There was a time he had the bases jammed and he was able to get out of it. Let's hope he can do it this time.
Next pitch is inside corner, strike 1, and the infield playing very deep, anticipating a bunt. This could be a chance where if it's the right pitch, the back part of the infield is wide open. If that drops, 2 runs could possibly score. So Jamestown could either be a hero or a goat doing this, and another nice block by Frahella, making the count 2-1.
Yeah, Ayers just has to stay focused and keep the ball over the plate, or at least within reach of his catcher. He leads the team in strikeouts here, so he can get out of this one.
He's more than capable. Next pitch, fouled off, strike 2, evens the count. And if I could borrow a line from Frankie Goes to Hollywood, Ayers just has to relax.
You can't borrow that line. Sorry.
Well, you're not the lead singer, so.
Okay, it's not up to me to give you permission, right? Well, here we go. A 2-2 count. No outs.
strikeout would be big, but a double play would be even better. Here's the 2-2. That one in the dirt, ball 3. If he gets walked, that's going to drive in a run. This is where you need to have the ice in your veins and just throw a pitch in the zone.
Yeah, have faith in your fielders, too. Throw it down the middle. Don't have to give it too much heat here. I don't think Vinzoletta is at risk of driving it deep. Maybe you'll see a grounder and potentially a double play.
Well, here's the payoff. It's going to be a chopper. Field it. Oh, Bemis handled it. Throw to home. And, oh, no! Frahella couldn't hold on to it, and the go-ahead run scores. Newark ahead now 5-4, and everybody's safe. Still no outs.
Yeah, who was that? Head at shortstop?
Yeah, that's an E6. That's Grady Me.
Oh, Grady Me.
So third error of the game for Jamestown, and that one a costly one. Gives Newark back the lead by 1. And if Nagishi could drive one in the outfield, the Pilots could salvage what was lost and make the lead a little bit bigger because insurance runs are very important in the top of the 9th.
And that was an error as well.
Next pitch is low, ball 1. But again, Frahella with a nice catch.
Yeah, I think in Me's situation there, he knocked it down and just tried to rush it too much to home. And he would have had the force out, but obviously when you're in a hurry like that, it happens so quickly. If he could have gotten that one back, I'm sure he would have gotten it back and done it right the next time.
This one is popped up. It's in play. Kernodle under it, and he will make the catch. And that's the out that Ayers he needed. So 1 out, and double play still in effect as it's going to be DiMartino coming up the bat. Oh, I know, I beg your pardon. Looks like it's going to be a pinch hitter. It's going to be number 2, and his last name is Goodness. So pinch hitter coming in for the Pilots. Next pitch by Ayers, that's low, ball 1.
Goodness batting 118 on the season and with 17 at bats. He's been struck out 4 times. Limited number of action this season. He has a chance to add an insurance run or 2 here with a 5-4 lead now in the top of the 9th inning. Newark over the Skunks. They've got the bases loaded with just 1 out. They can add to that lead.
Yep, and next pitch called a strike in the inside corner, and turns out full name is Ian Goodness, number 2. And he could, if he can get a hit driving a couple runs, he could be one of the heroes for the Pilots, but the catch is the Skunks still have last ups. That one chopped foul, strike 2. And again, Mazik's been warming up in the bullpen for a while now for Jamestown. But I would say stick with Ayers, see if he can get through this. He's done it before. He did it in the 1-0 win against Elmira in 4 innings of work. As he gets the sign from Frahella, here comes the 1-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3, and that is, again, what the doctor ordered. So, big strikeout there for Ayers, and number 20 on the year. Again, he leads the team in strikeouts, which, if you're a bullpen pitcher, that's way more than impressive, as Archimone is up the bat.
Archimone appears to be 1 for 4 on the night. He had a base hit in the 3rd inning and flew out twice and grounded out once. So he's seen some plate appearances here. Here's a hit to short to me. Throws it on over to first. And that is the final out, but not until after a run is scored. And so after 8.5 innings of play, the visiting Newark Pilots once again lead the Jamestown Tarp Skunks 5-4. We'll have the conclusion of this game maybe in just a moment right here on WRFA. I don't know. Are we off?
Oh, well, it's the middle of the inning.
Oh, that's right. My apologies. Well, listeners, we apologize. We'll stay with you for this one and remind you that support for, and our apologies to our engineer, Gavin Paternitti, who's probably wondering what's Jason thinking here. Support for WRFA's coverage of the Jamestown Tarp Skunks is brought to you in part by Reg Linnaeus Center for the Arts, the official license holder of WRFA. Reg Linnaeus Center for the Arts is located in the heart of downtown Jamestown at 106 East 3rd Street. It offers comprehensive programming that inspires, educates, and empowers our community. Reg Lene also offers rental of its facilities to the public, providing space for 12 to 1,200 guests. The popular Movies at the Reg offers a safe and comfortable environment for patrons to watch a wide variety of films, with food and beverages also available. Don't forget that the 80s rock band Vixen is coming to Jamestown to perform at the Reg Lene Center for the Arts on Sunday, July 11th. For ticket information or any information about the Reg Lene, go online to reglene.com or call 716-664-2465. Norm, you fancy yourself a music connoisseur.
Oh, for sure.
Vixen. You like them?
In all honesty, that's a group I've not really heard of, but one of my friends told me he got tickets for them the other day, had like a hit album in the 80s, and...
Maybe we can go see them.
Well, there is a call to the bullpen. It's going to be the closer for Newark coming in to try and slam the door. It's Michael Walsh, number 16, and the batters up are Googans, Kernodle, and Gagnon, but the main guy, Kernodle, his last at-bat, he went yard. So this is it for Jamestown, last gasp, but they've been successful in situations like this before. They were against Niagara back in their last game at home on Sunday. They're looking to extend their winning streak to 5 games. They're in second place in the West, and there's no room for error the way the top 4 has been looking in that division. It has been airtight sealed.
Yeah, you know, when you look at the Eastern Division, I think it's Amsterdam who has only lost 1 game, and everybody else is kind of, you know, well below, almost below 500 if I'm not mistaken. But this is a very tough division here in the West for the Perfect Game Collegiate Baseball League, and we're seeing why.
Well, first pitch at the outside corner for a strike. So Googans, he's 1 for 3. He has a single. His last at-bat, he grounded into a double play to end, which was the 7th inning. It was an around-the-horn one back-to-back by Newark to end innings. So count 0-2 here for Tommy Googans, part of that Ivy League quartet a la Princeton. Here comes the 0-2 by Walsh. Outside, 1-2. So Googans will see another pitch.
A little bit of disgust from the dugout of Newark on that call.
Next one that's going into left, but it's going to have a case of the hang time. Caught there by Justin DiMartino for the first out.
Yeah, I was trying to coax the ball to drop there. You saw me telling it to get down, but you're right. A little too much hang time there, Norm. And as a result, that's 1 away here in the bottom of the 9th inning. But look out. We've got Jake Kernodle stepping up. He hit a home run just 2 innings ago in the 7th inning to tie the game up. Can we see deja vu all over again?
It would be nice. As long as he gets on base, that's what matters. He does represent the tying run. Here's the next pitch by Walsh, and that's low and inside. Ball 1. This game, it's been a seesaw affair. It was 4-0 Newark. Jamestown roared back and tied it. Then Newark, on a throwing error, took the lead in the top of the 9th with the bases loaded, and as the next pitch was in the dirt for ball 2. Walsh shaking off a sign, but he's got the pitch he wants. Here's the 2-0. Way outside, ball 3. A nice catch there by Archimone.
Yeah, so now it's time for the red light here. And as you noted, get on base is the main mission here, down by 1 run with just 1 out in the bottom of the 9th inning. And I'm sure Kernodle's going to let this one go by.
And he fouls it off, strike 1.
He wanted to prove me wrong, apparently. He swung at that one, and it looked like it would have been a strike anyway.
Yeah, if it looks like it's going to be a strike, I can understand why the batter would swing. But
yeah.
It's still a hitter's count, though. 3-1. This is the green light. If he sees one that he likes, he'll swing. Here's the next pitch by Walsh. That's low, ball 4. So Kernodle gets the base on balls, and Gagnon representing the walk-off run coming up the bat.
Well, at least the tying run is now on base. Jake Kernodle, I'm trying to check out his numbers here, and he has, for stolen bases, none so far this season.
There is a pinch runner coming in, though.
Well, that would explain why we have a pinch runner, right?
We do. And it appears to be, it looks like it's number 28 or 26.
28, Luke Fuller.
Okay, yeah, it is. It is indeed Fuller, getting a better view of the number. So he will take over. And how many steals does he have?
He doesn't have any either, but he's only had 20 plate appearances this season.
And from those little sprints, it looks like he's got some good speed.
Yeah, he's warming up right now, taking advantage of a break on the mound as the Newark Pilots try to talk about how are they going to preserve this one-run lead here in the bottom of the 9th inning. You know, we talk about wanting exciting baseball this summer here at Diethrick Park, and we've been treated with that a few times now here at Diethrick Park, and this game certainly is one of them as well now, with it just being a one-run ball game. Bottom of the 9th inning, your hometown Jamestown Tarp Skunks trailing, but the tying run is at first base in Luke Fuller and his legs.
Oh, I say it correctly. It's Matt Townsend, number 20.
It is number 20. I'm sorry. Matt Townsend.
Yeah, again, like with that skunk tail in the back, it's hard to see the numbers.
Thompson has 4 stolen bases, and he's been at bat 32 times.
Yeah, he's usually the starter at third, but he had the night off until now. He's got a good lead off of the bag. A steal would be very big. Here's another pickoff and getting back in safely. The way Walsh has been throwing that, though, I wonder if he's pushing it towards a balk. I've only seen that called once, maybe twice in all the years I've worked at Diethrick Park for Jamestown baseball.
Gagnon, the batter.
Next pitch is foul tipped, strike one.
Yeah, his windup kind of leaves it open to interpretation of whether he's going to throw it across the plate or throw it over to first. He kind of has a little bit of hesitancy, and you don't want to get too much of a lead off here. You don't want to get picked off.
Another
It's
pickoff.
like that.
The last 3 times he's thrown the ball have been pickoffs, and he does have one out in his favor.
Well, you know, obviously he knows that Jamestown will steal second if they have the opportunity to do so, so he's trying to take away that edge.
He's taken off. Oh, but here comes a throw to second, but he's going to be safe. First baseman decides to pocket the ball. Maybe he was afraid of committing an error?
No, I think the umpire called balk.
Oh, okay, yeah, because, well, I did say a moment ago Walsh was pushing it, so it will be a balk, and he will be awarded second base, so now.
Yeah, the manager, the coach for Newark is trying to get an explanation of why that was a balk. I don't know if they're saying that his foot was never set, or maybe his – I don't know the specific rules of when to call a balk. I'm still confused exactly.
Yeah, the main thing is when you start and stop, or when you start and then you shift over. That's when they usually call it.
Well, it's a balk, not a stolen base. We have a runner in scoring position now.
A base hit can drive him home. Thompson representing the tying run. Gagnon, the walk-off run. Deja vu like versus Niagara as Walsh gets a sign, a 1-1 count, and here comes the next pitch. And that's low, ball 2. Gagnon with the patience at the plate. I'm sure he's looking for his second hit. He is 1 for 3 with a single.
Well, walk's as good as a hit as this point.
Very true.
But a hit can possibly drive in the run, depending on where it goes.
2-1. That one's going into the
gapper. That's a gapper.
It's going to drop. It's going to go. And Thompson's going to head for third. He's going to get waved home. Gagnon with a double. Here comes the throw to the plate. And it is. He's safe. He's safe. He's safe. Archibald couldn't hold on to the ball. And that's a critical mistake right there. We are tied up at 5. Bottom of the 9th. 1 out. Gagnon, the walk-off run at second. Archibald looked like he was going to nail Thompson, but he lost the ball.
That was a great relay throw from outfield in. The ball hung up so much, Thompson didn't have a chance at second to really get a huge lead because it may have been caught and he wanted to tag up and get over to third. The ball was not caught. It went past the outfielder. Thompson took off. And rounding third, they did a great cutoff play, got the ball to home in time, but it just wasn't accurate enough to get the tag in there. The ball was dropped, and now we have a tie ball game, 5-5, with a runner in scoring position to win this in walk-off fashion, depending on what Braden Johnson can do right now at the plate.
Looking to be a hero in back-to-back home games. He swings and misses for a strike, but they got the job done. They got the bare minimum. They tied it up. It's 5-all. Johnson, he stole home to defeat Newark in a 3-run comeback on Sunday. I'm sure he wouldn't mind a walk-off hit 4 days later.
Hey, credit Gagnon, too, with a great hit in a pressure situation. That's how you do it in Jamestown.
Next pitch low and outside, 1-1. And again, Cardiac Skunks out to play. Johnson, he leads a team in base on balls, very patient at the plate. It's a 1-1 count. Walsh checks on Gagnon at second. Here's the pitch. Outside, 2-1.
You got to figure a base hit or a liner anywhere in the outfield would be the walk-off, depending on how much it hangs up there, because obviously Gagnon will want to tag up before taking off running here.
He's taking off. A swing and a miss, and they'll just let Gagnon take it. Counts even at 2s, and now even a sac fly deep enough can get him home. They got 1 out, so they can use it for that.
Yeah, Braden Johnson's a sharp ball player, too. He knows that exactly is all it will take. A sac fly will win this one here with just 1 out and a runner 90 feet away from winning the ball game.
Skunk players imploring the fans to cheer, and that's going to go into shallow center. DiMartino under it, makes the catch. Gagnon's going to tag up. Here comes the cutoff. Here's the throw. Not in time. Not in time. Gagnon safe. Back-to-back walk-off wins for Jamestown at home. Braden Johnson steals home on Sunday and gets a walk-off base hit on Thursday. Once again, he is the hero. 6-5. Jamestown comes back from 4 down. 5 wins in a row.
The Cardiac Skunks do it again, trailing by 1 run in the bottom of the 9th inning, tying the game up, and then at the very next at-bat, winning the ball game. Unbelievable. That is how you do it here in Jamestown. Credit the Newark Pilots, who have not had the best season. They've got only 3 wins on this season, thinking that they could get a victory tonight, but Jamestown snatched away that victory and took it for themselves. What a great way to finish a ball game, and an early one at that, Norm.
Oh, very true. Didn't even last 2.5 hours, and Jamestown will be back in action tomorrow looking to win 6 in a row against Elmira. That one, though, it's going to be Tom Ames and Zeke Abbey for the 2nd time this year, and with that, it's going to do it for tonight's coverage of Jamestown Tarp Skunk Baseball on WRFA. Once again, the final score, the Skunks come back from 4-0 and take one away from the Pilots 6-5. Thank you to our studio engineer, Gavin Paternetti, and also to our WRFA intern in Will Stallsmith, and for my broadcast partner as well as the executive producer of the broadcast, Jason Sample. This is Norm Rodriguez saying thank you for listening to Jamestown Tarp Skunks Baseball right here on WRFA.
Thanks, Gavin.